Is that the people? I mean, I can point. I know that the guy pretty much. No.
Yeah. You think you would be able to pick out the person that you shot?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Welcome to 8MC Investigations. We have new content every week, so if you like that, subscribe. We are almost to 100,000 subscribers. I want to thank all of you that have already hit that subscribe button. You are very much appreciated. Also, hit the like button. It's free and it helps us continue to bring more and more videos. I would like to give a shout out to all of our members. Thank you for going above and beyond to support us. We will be putting a lot of extras on Patreon, so if you're into more of a deep dive, come check us out over there. The link is in the description. Okay, enough rambling. Let's get into it. January 4th, 2006, Ocala National Forest, Florida. 2 overnight campers were fatally shot with an AK-47. The two were 26-year-old John Parker and 26-year-old Amber Peck from Gainesville, Florida. Both had gunshot wounds to their bodies and one to the head. The shootings happened on a Wednesday, and their bodies were not discovered until the following Saturday, when one of the victims' parents went out to the forest to search for them. By the following Tuesday, detectives had a lead on who might have committed this heinous crime, thanks to a good Samaritan that gave a ride to a seemingly injured Leo Boatman. During Leo's first interrogation regarding the campers he killed in Ocala National Forest, he brought up a homicide out of Clearwater, Florida, and detectives from Pinellas County have come to talk with him about it. That is what this interrogation is about. If you missed the first one, the link is in the description below. Stay tuned to the end for the conclusion. There will be a third interview posted on Patreon that gives us a glimpse into the mind of Leo as well. But first, let us have a moment of silence for the victims in this case.
You okay?
Almost longer.
They're here. I'm about to bring them in down the hallway and introduce you to them. You want some water or anything? You good to go? Time is it? 12:52, just afternoon time. They'll be here in just a minute, and you can have your talk with them, and then we'll get everything squared away. Okay? Good. Thanks for that. Okay, I'm gonna get one more chair for you guys.
Okay.
Leo, this is Mark and Laura. They came from Clearwater.
Hey, Leo, how you doing? Kind of hard to shake hands there, but...
Let me get one more chair for you guys, and then I'm gonna get out of your hair.
Okay.
We had to get through that Tampa traffic.
Yeah, that was the longest part of the trip. Getting through Tampa.
Thank you.
Okay, if y'all need anything, just give me a shout.
Okay, thanks a lot. Leo, Sergeant Owens called us and said that you wanted to talk to us about something that happened down in Clearwater. We're detectives with Clearwater Police Department and the Robbery Homicide Unit. And I know Sergeant Owens from cases in the past, and he called and said that you wanted to talk to us about some stuff. Is that correct?
Somewhat. I mean, I told him everything. He just said it was a chance to, wipe your slate clean. And I just said, well,
okay.
I admit, but I didn't say I wanted to, have a long, drawn-out discussion.
Okay, well, I mean, we're here for you, okay? I mean, obviously, it's our case because it happened in our jurisdiction. So, you need to tell us what happened about what you told him with the guy in the white car and everything like that, okay? Do you want to talk to us about it?
Somewhat. I mean, I don't want to, dig my grave. But,
Okay.
I just basically...
Well, I mean, we're trying to find out what happened. We had a homicide, and we're trying to find out what happened. And from what you told Sergeant Owens, you may have had some involvement in it. And that's what we just want to find out is what you know about it. Okay, so if you just want to go over what you told him, and we'll go from there. Is that okay with you? Okay. I know they already read you your Miranda rights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just need to go over that again with you just so you completely understand that you don't have to talk to us, and you can tell us to go pound sand if you want to. Okay. We're here for you. All right. Let me read you our form, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Understanding this right, do you wish to talk to me now? If you give up the right to remain silent, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have a lawyer present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Okay? Having these rights in mind, are you willing to talk to us at this time? Okay. You really can't sign it, so. You can't get your hand up enough. Oh, yeah, I guess you can. There you go. Just, if you can, fill in your name right there, print it, and then just sign. It's a fancy way to write your name. You have an art background, or is that just the way you've always signed your name? Very nice. Okay. Well, why don't you go over what you told Sergeant Owens about what happened down in Clearwater? Okay.
Basically, we were talking, and yes, it's time to wipe your slate clean.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, I told him about what happened down here, and then he said, "Is there anything else?" And I said, "Yeah, there's another thing in Pinellas County involving a guy in a white car."
Okay.
And then I said, "I didn't really want to talk about it anymore." But.
Okay. Well, what we need to find out is, I need you to give me a little bit more information than it was a guy in a white car, because, we need to know whether it was you or whether, we're here on the wrong case and this may have happened somewhere else. Where did it happen? Do you remember where you were?
Well, obviously it happened where I live. Clearwater.
But where in Clearwater? Where were you?
See, but if I talk, though, I know I'm digging my own grave. If I tell everything. I did just like with him. I said,
I know, but I understand that. But you're saying you want to wipe the slate clean. Obviously, you already mentioned enough.
I just kind of wanted to, wipe it. When I was at wipe the slate clean, it's like, just get it off my conscience.
Right.
I don't know about.
The thing here is getting off the conscience, because otherwise you're saying you're involved in this. And meanwhile, there's other people that their lives are being disrupted because they're the suspects in it, okay? Mm-hmm. Whereas we can put it to rest today and end it. That way we know what happened and who's involved. So we don't have to bother these other people. That's the thing. You told him enough in the notes that you know stuff about it and everything. But we've got to make sure that you are the person involved, okay? Because sometimes people say they're involved in...
Then I'm digging my own grave, though. If there's other suspects, then...
Well, you're already in jail, right?
Grant.
It's not like, suddenly we're going to handcuff you and throw you in jail.
Another charge is just kind of...
Well, like he said, it's just, you seem like a good guy. We're doing a lot of police work and we're pulling a lot of people in and talking to them about this murder. And if you could, tell us, where it happened, and so that we can, at least connect you to it. Okay. We just need to be able to have enough that we can say that, yeah, it looks like Leo's the one that did this. We can leave all these other people alone. I understand if you don't want to, say, yeah, I was there, this is what I did, this is the time it was. If you don't want to go that far, but we at least need to know enough that we can say, not enough to prosecute you, but that we can say enough to feel confident that, yeah, Leo's the one that did this. We don't need to waste our time pulling all these other people in. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's not going to hurt you any. You're already in jail. You're already up here in jail. It's not like...
You've already cleaned the slate with him and talked about the other one, the 2 victims. This is another one down in Pinellas County.
That's the one up here is obviously, the biggie. Ours is kind of small potatoes compared to that one.
Can't say, I could say I was really messed up.
Okay.
And that's also your time to give us that opportunity to figure it out, to explain why. If you're saying you're messed up, so we...
Yeah, well, no, I was drunk.
Right, but
And if you check him, you probably find out that,
Okay, what kind of drugs were you using?
Me, I was only, drunk and, marijuana.
Just smoke pot. What did he use?
Well, I know he smoked pot. I don't know what else he used. I would figure he did cocaine because,
How did you know him? Let me ask you
I
that.
didn't really know him, you know. It's kind of like random, but it was kind of like, you know, when you kind of in that world, you know everybody, really.
Right.
First time you meet them and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But
And you stayed in the trailer park right down on Clearwater Largo Road. Which one was it?
well, I stayed there. Well, I had just moved there, Keystone,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to live at Highland, off of Highland,
Okay, where'd you live off of Highland?
up near Union, but always all Highland because that's where I've almost lived all my life.
Was it an apartment or Sable Walk? Is that where you lived?
Not next to it. Sable Walks where the blue ones right next to it is Highland Park.
Okay,
Behind the
before
Happy.
you get to Sable
And
Walk.
Happy.
Okay. So like, yeah, I know what you
Happy
mean.
food store in there.
Right.
Okay.
Right off Union, basically.
Okay. So you would buy drugs, obviously in Clearwater. You'd buy some marijuana. Where would you go to buy your marijuana?
Now you want me to give away them?
You don't need to give me a name. I just want to know what area of town you'd go.
We'd meet in several different places down by the beach. I mean, not actually on the beach
Right.
because it's kind of, a lot of.
It's a busy area and a lot of cops.
But we'd go off of. You go down Gulf to Bay and you know where the Dairy Queen is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back there, it's kind of like a quiet neighborhood.
Okay.
And we'd go all around.
Did you ever go? I mean, did you go up to Greenwood? You know where Greenwood is, the black
like,
area.
Greenwood was like my stomping ground, and Betty Lane and all of them.
Okay.
And then but we try to stay out of there because that's hot now too. It's a lot different than what it used to be when I was growing up.
Did you always live down in the Clearwater area? I mean, I know you spent a lot of time in juvenile detention and
Almost
stuff.
always. I mean, Clearwater. My family home is on Lotus Path off a lake.
Yeah.
So that was my family home. It still belongs to family, but it's being rented out right now.
Okay.
So, I lived in St. Pete also, but, it was always Pinellas County basically, except for a short stint in Holiday and Pasco.
Okay.
But,
Now, in this instance, where had you met him before? Just
where did I meet him?
yeah.
Actually, when I first met him, it was down on Turner Dock. That's when I first met him, or first saw him. I didn't meet him. I was just there with the acquaintance.
Did you guys ever talk? Did you guys ever talk?
No.
Did you know his name?
It wasn't like that. It was like the person that dealt cocaine. I wasn't doing cocaine, and I don't know if he was or not. Just a person that did down there, so you didn't really talk. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys just both went there to buy it? Is that how you
I
first?
didn't go to buy it.
Okay.
I had friends that did.
Okay, so you were with them, and you guys met on Turner Street dock, and that's where you saw him?
That's the first time I saw him. I didn't meet him. I didn't know his name or anything like that.
Okay.
And then I just knew someone that knew him.
Okay.
And the next time I saw him, it was because of the night that I saw him. It was because of him.
What kind of car did you drive?
It was a white car, kind of plain ordinary.
Was it like small or big? Or?
Smaller. It wasn't big. It's not many, but it wasn't big.
Okay.
Kind of like surprisingly, a lot of people have that kind of car. Boys,
Remember anything about the car?
Windows, wheels, anything?
car wasn't really that special. I was never really around his car.
Okay, nothing though
Just-
it didn't have like fancy rims or anything like that as far as you remember?
Not fancy, like spree wheels and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
or spinners or anything like that. Just what did the guy look like?
So I was never really up like that with him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but when you talked to him, when you saw him on the docks,
He was probably a little bit taller than me, probably.
and how tall are you?
I think like
5'9". Okay.
you know.
What about weight? Was he like your
He
builder?
wasn't skinny, if that's what you mean.
Okay. Was he like you? You're not a skinny guy. You're pretty well built. Was he bigger than you or?
I don't know. I don't see myself. I see myself as skinny.
Well, no, you're not. You've got some muscles on you. You're not like skin and bones.
I want to say like he was like body built, muscular, but he wasn't skinny. He was regular.
Just a
ordinary guy.
normal
Yeah.
Not really big, but not really skinny.
Right.
Okay. What about his hair?
Shoulders were a little broader. He had dark hair.
Okay. What about his skin? Was he like real light skin like me, or was he kind of medium? Or?
He'd be more tan than you.
Okay. Most people are more tan than me. Except him.
How did you come to meeting him that night? What did you talk
I
to
didn't meet him.
Okay.
I just went down there with my friend, and I didn't even. You know how Turner Dock has those long steps?
Yeah.
I didn't even go all the way down there. I just know he was down there on the top.
Okay.
And then you know how when you go there, there's no place to park your car except for on the side of the road.
Right.
And, you know, his car wasn't there that night,
Okay.
so he had to be there with, you know.
Okay. So you were up on the street basically. Did you stayed up with your
I
car?
wasn't all the way on the street, but like the 2 or 3 of us were up, you know, just on the
Right. You didn't go down
steps.
to the dock.
talking.
Okay.
You know, minding our own business, not trying to get in their little deal.
Okay. All right. And then what about the night that this happened? How did you
I was.
come across him? I mean, I know you said you were messed up, but I mean, how do you remember coming across him?
Same friend, only I was chilling with him this time. It
Okay.
wasn't really late. And then I know I went a lot of places that night. You know. And first, when they first met up, it was at Hooters.
Okay. That's where you worked, right? Okay.
It was at Hooters. And, you know, just went from there.
Okay. So the night that the shooting happened, you guys met up at Hooters?
We didn't meet up.
Oh,
me and him, but
you
he
and
was
your
there
friend
with-
met up, and he was there.
No, him and his friend met up, you know, at Hooters. And I was chilling with my friend, and then they met up, and then
the three of you.
they left, and then
Okay.
kind of, you know how it's like night, oh, come over and come there, and
Okay.
I don't know if I want to say too much.
That's fun. I mean, do you remember what day of the week it was?
I don't know if I want to say that.
Well, I mean, it's.
Because if I say the exact date, then.
But if you tell me it's a wrong date, then.
What you know, the reason we're here is obviously.
I don't want to be,
know.
but I don't want to be charged with that. I'm just cleaning my slate.
Well, I know you want to clean your slate, and you've already cleaned your slate with what happened up here. Okay, and that's why we're just trying to clean the slate with what's down there instead of this lingering on.
I mean, like
I'll say this.
Do you not want to go?
It was around, huh?
I mean,
Do I not want?
is there a problem down there? I mean, with this charge, or you don't want to go back to Pinellas County, or what
Well,
is?
there's not a problem down there.
If anything,
if anything, you know, it's just I don't want to put certain people in jeopardy because it's not a problem with me.
We're not here to put anyone else in jeopardy, okay? But we're here if you truly want to get everything behind you, clean the slate, and move on, is to get this taken care of.
I'll say this much about the time frame. It was right around the time that this happened. I'm not saying it's either before or after, but it was right around that time.
Okay.
And you know,
Okay, but I mean, I know you're saying you want to get your slate clean, okay? And like I told you early on in the interview, if you're not comfortable doing it, you don't have to give me enough that I can put charges on you right now and haul you back down to Pinellas County. Okay, you don't have to give me that much, but you've got to give me enough that I can say with confidence, at least that we can close out our case and say, yeah, it looks like Leo probably did it. We can close out our case and we don't have to worry about it anymore. But not necessarily enough that I can charge you. You know what I mean? There's a fine line. You don't need to give me a full taped confession about details, but I need to get enough from you that at least I can say, looks like Leo did it. You know, he's got the deal up there in Ocala. We don't need to worry about charging him in our case because he's got that to worry about. You know, but I mean, you got to give me enough that I can know with confidence that you probably did my case and that I don't need to go looking at anybody else for it. You know what I mean? You don't have to give me all the details so that I have enough to charge you and can put charge on you and haul you down to Pinellas County today. But I got to know enough from you that I can say, yeah, it looks like you did my case. We can close it out from our perspective. You know what I mean?
For your own sake, today, with everything that's gone on, now you have the opportunity to just get everything behind you.
Well, down here, I'm just going to plead guilty to my charges, so I don't really care. So,
Well, pleading guilty for this here compared to Pinellas County. Pinellas County isn't, you had two people up here. That's why just get it all done into one thing, instead of lengthening it out. If you really want to, if your true intention is to clear the slate and get it all over, that's, you've already said enough to the other detectives, but, we've got to hear it from you.
I just said it was me. And then
Well, that doesn't clear
Yeah, but I mean,
the
it
slate completely
doesn't.
because we're going to keep going.
It's not enough for me to feel confident that you did it. I mean, all you've said.
Well, I don't mind if y'all think I did it though. I mean,
But that doesn't work
I
for.
cleared my part.
Well, I know, but I mean, I can't lay every unsolved homicide. I know.
Yeah, just.
But I can't lay. I mean, I'd more than likely love to lay every unsolved homicide we have on you just because you're willing to tell me that you did them.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I need to be able to feel confident that you did it and that you give me enough that I can close my case. But like I said, you don't have to give me enough that I can charge you. You just need to give me enough that I can feel confident that you did it. I mean, the main thing you need to worry about is up here because, like you said, those were two people. I mean, ours was a guy down in Clearwater, used drugs. There's not a lot of what we call jury appeal, for his case down there. So our case is definitely not what you need to be concerned with. I just need to know enough that I can feel confident that you did it so I can close my case out. Not necessarily, slap an advisory on you and haul you back down to Pinellas County. You just need to give me enough so that I know you don't need to give me, this other third party or anything like that.
We're not looking to get anyone else involved, okay? But we've got
it's not that. It's just like press wise, right? They're finally just laying off people down there. I don't want to mess with people.
We're not going after any. You talking about your family and stuff? Yeah, we're not.
We're not going to.
That's why if you help us out and you clean the slate and we get everything from you, we don't have to go talk to any of those people, okay? We don't have to get involved with them. Otherwise,
somewhat about me, about my family.
I mean, I'll tell you, I know basically what I've read in the newspaper down there. I mean, that's what I know, which I'm sure is, not the real you. But I mean, I know a little bit about your background and, you've had a rough life growing up and everything like that.
But, like you said, you don't want those people. I mean, if we leave without getting us all behind you, we're going to have to talk to everybody down there. I mean, that's why we're trying to, if we get it all from you, we're done and it's over with, but we've got to have enough to know that.
That's enough right there. I told you basically when he was shot. I mean.
But it's not enough.
It's not enough. I mean, I can't say. There's been other, from what you told Sergeant Owens, he was in a white car and the car crashed. Well, I mean.
Yeah, it looked like it crashed.
Okay, I mean, there's other cases down there that are similar to that. I need to make sure that we're talking about.
Shot.
But we've had other cases like that. What I'm saying is I need to know that we're talking about the same case. That's why, you need to give me a little bit more. Just tell me where it happened.
Do you know how to get to Green Bay by East Bay?
Green Bay?
Or Greenwood by East Bay?
Yeah.
You know where they call it the little quickie store, so I don't know the exact name, but it's basically a real kind of ghetto store. I mean,
are we
you
talking
can buy
about
skills there? Are we
talking about down by East Bay or up on Greenwood?
No, it's up on Greenwood, but it's near Greenwood and East Bay, basically. When you're going down Greenwood to get to East Bay, do you know what I mean? If you're on East Bay and you want to go to Greenwood.
Greenwood doesn't run into East Bay.
I know that, but there's a road that you turn off to and it takes you straight there.
Highland.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna draw a map just so we're talking about.
Missouri is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And you come off Green Bay, you come off East Bay, and you go down Missouri, and then you know where Highland is, and then in between the area of, I'll give you there, you know where the bowling alley is?
Yeah.
That's on Highland.
On Highland.
Now that's Highland.
Okay.
And back from there on, you know where Greenwood is, right?
It's way
back.
Yeah, way back.
And then you know how East Bay and Missouri run, and you go down. You know what I mean?
Well, East Bay is in Largo. That's why it's a bad reference. Is there a reference in Clearwater to Greenwood?
East Bay comes to Missouri, though.
Right.
Yeah, Missouri and East Bay cross.
Right. I'm obviously coming from Largo.
Okay, so you're coming up East Bay, turning on Missouri.
Right.
Going down Missouri, and then where do you turn off Missouri?
Back that way. I'm just telling you.
You're going back. Okay. So you're kind of like making a U.
No, I'm just saying I'm basically making a circle around the area.
Okay.
But in the area where the census, I mean, we're just trying so what you're talking about. What was in the area? I mean,
Is this map
if you were there, there's certain things that are right around that area that you would know of.
I mean, here's East Bay down in Largo. You know where Bel Air is? Bel Air Road?
Not totally.
Bel Air is where Greenwood.
I know where Bel Air is.
It's where Greenwood stops.
Right, but.
And then you live Clearwater Largo Road's kind of over here.
But the easiest thing is the area where this incident took place.
I told you the little store. Everybody knows what a store is.
There's a ton of little stores.
But what else is around? What else is around it?
They got 1,001 caps hanging up. They sell fake hats and stuff.
I know, but we got several of those stores in Clearwater. I mean, that's not uncommon.
You're saying that store's on Greenwood? Is that what you're saying?
It's in Greenwood, basically.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there's. Are you familiar with? There's two areas at Greenwood. There's South Greenwood, like down by where you live on Clearwater Largo Road, and then there's North Greenwood.
I was in the more better part of the town.
Okay, which is North Greenwood, which is up here.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, from Highland back, from where around that area, I'm estimating around the Bowen area.
Okay.
Not all the way up near Union, but back
Okay.
by Highland, and just go back that way. Not saying this on Highland, I'm just saying from that part of Highland, go back.
Go back towards Largo.
Right. And can I use the restroom really bad?
We gotta check with those guys. Hang on.
I've been trying to fight that, but
That's fine. You gotta go. Hang on.
yes. Over there. No.
You happy? You happy now? Okay. That's a bad feeling, I know. When you try to hold it.
I'm trying to talk to people.
That's how it was on the way up here. I'm like, we gotta get there quick, otherwise we're gonna have to stop at a rest stop because I gotta go to the bathroom.
What we were talking about is where it took place. There's a couple certain things that we know you're exactly telling the truth, okay? Which are obvious, that are different than other spots. And that's what we're just getting so we know, okay? I think I know what story you're talking about, but I know, but
I was really.
I know, but listen,
Right, you messed up.
the reason I understand that, but a store that sells.
I just know what we were driving around, and I mean the person that I was in the car with might know, a lot. And the thing is, if like it comes out, yeah, he did it and everything, then I'll be like, oh shit, he did, and then he'll know everything, and then he can come forward. And he could basically put it on. I mean, everything. See what I'm saying?
What? But
I can
let
tell
me
you
understand. Let me ask.
Check and see when I was last at Hooters.
Okay, but let me ask you.
That was the last time you were at Hooters? Were you working or were you just there hanging out?
I wasn't working.
Okay.
You've already given all this information. You're trying to clean the slate. What are you worried about somebody trying else to put it on you when you actually put it out there to have us come talk to you? You asked for us to come talk to you. You're the one.
I didn't ask for y'all to come talk to me.
No, that's not. I heard you said you wanted to talk to the detectives from Clearwater.
So
No, I said I talked to the. And when I didn't I didn't disagree with talking. What happened was I said I'm willing to talk to the detectives.
Okay.
I talked to the detectives today, and they said, "Well, will you be willing to talk to the detectives from Clearwater?" And I said, "Yeah, I have no problem."
is there a reason why you'd want this one to linger on when you wanted to take care of the two up here? I mean, that's what the thing is. I mean, we get this all over with, but you've already taken care of the two up here, but now this one you just want to linger on. I don't understand that, why you just don't want to get it all over with and done with. What we have in Clearwater isn't, up here is the one you have. No, this is the one you
Plus,
have.
he's not exactly a model citizen.
Exactly.
But this is the one you have to worry about. That's why why just get this over with instead of playing games. I mean,
It's not really playing games.
I know that, but,
Right, I mean,
but we're going to leave and you're going to have unfinished business because
And we're
this
gonna
is
have
going to still
unfinished
linger on there.
business.
And we'd rather leave, have this done, your conscience clear, your slate clean. We don't have to go back, talk to anyone in your family, any of your friends, and it's just done and over with, okay? But I guess where I'm just asking, I don't know in your mind, if you already cleaned up what's up here, what's down there is
I don't feel bad really about what's down there because he ain't exactly
Right.
He's not he was not an innocent person.
So that one,
So I mean,
just get it out of the way. The one up here is the ones you need to worry about. But I'm saying,
Well, I'm just gonna plead guilty and let them do whatever they're gonna do up here.
then down there, why wouldn't you just do the same and get that over with at the same time, get them all done?
Because if if I have to wait for trial and everything, and I have to go through all the court stuff, which I'm gonna have to do no matter what because of the case. But I'm not gonna I don't want to go to trial. I'm just gonna plead guilty. I don't want to do it down here. And this is not my county. I mean,
you want to do it down there,
right? But I know down here it's a lot bigger.
But I mean,
so I know that's why I'd rather wait until I just plead guilty down here and then go down there. I wait and until they ship me off to wherever they're gonna ship me off to. I'd be down there. I'm not saying.
So what you're saying is you want to spend more time in Pinellas County. You don't want to talk really about that one down there until this one's
right. But
done up here.
I mean, there's other people that up to them. I ain't gonna say that this was with me was just my own. So I don't know, like if I'd really piss some people off. I mean, they shouldn't have no reason because I ain't gonna point their fingers at them.
Well, we're not looking to point the fingers at them.
Right.
But obviously you're involved and it's done. We just wanted to get it over with. Okay, we're not looking to go after those people. But what we're going to have to do, if you don't want to clean the slate, we're going to go down there and start pulling all your friends, all your family, and the interviews and doing all that. Okay, we're going to have no choice. But you're talking about wanting to get shipped down there. You have a better chance of getting shipped down there if you clean the slate with this. This one happened first down there.
And I mean, you need, and I understand why, you'd rather spend more time down there. Because I've been to our jail, I've been to this jail, I'd rather be down there in Pinellas too. It's obviously much nicer facilities.
There's another problem. If I go down there, I don't want to have to go through do you know the procedure, like if it's a big crime or anything, they automatically put you on SP and then you got to work your way off of it.
Right.
I'm just working my way off this here and I'm not suicidal. I don't want to go over there and then have to go back on close out because I've already done that.
Right. And I understand that. But what I'm saying is you just, if you're going to plead guilty up here and everything, I mean, obviously it's going to take some time because it's a big case and everything. And even if you're willing to plead guilty, it's going to take some time. But I mean, I need you to give me enough so I can say, I'm confident that Leo did this. We just need to put this case on hold until he's done up there. That's why, I mean, can I just ask you a couple specific questions about it and you just answer those for me if you're comfortable doing that?
I was shot once.
Okay. What kind of gun was it?
It was a handgun. I'm not gun. Believe it or not, I'm not very gun specific.
What could
it was just smaller. It was small.
I mean, was it
it didn't hold that many rounds.
Was it a revolver or was it a semi-auto?
It was semi-auto, like just
the one that has the magazines. The revolver has the wheel. It had a magazine.
It was small.
What color was it?
It was the color was silverish, but it had a black grip on it. But instead of a regular black, the pistol grip, it also has something where you can like push up on it. It's like it doesn't come with the gun.
Where did you get the gun? That gun?
It's this problem.
Okay, well, okay. Okay. Where's the gun now?
A person still has it. It belongs to someone else.
Did they know it was used in a killing?
No, they don't know it was used, and they still have it. And they never even knew it was gone.
Where did you get the ammo for it? Was it already in it?
I mean, I had to replace it.
Okay, well, did you buy something to replace it?
No, I didn't buy it.
You just got it from somebody? What do you know what caliber it was? Like it was a 9mm or something like a 22, small or big?
No, it wasn't that small. I mean, it wasn't humongous either. But I wouldn't say it was like something big, but it was, it was a regular bullet. It was a pistol bullet.
But you don't know the caliber. Okay.
I didn't even really know how to work the gun.
How many rounds did you fire?
No.
Just one? Do you know where you hit them at?
Were you in a car? Were you in a car?
Was I in a car?
Yeah.
Like I said, the person would probably know something happened.
Well, I mean, I'm just asking you. When you fired the gun, were you in a car?
When I fired the gun?
Yeah.
No.
You were out of the car?
I was near a car too. I think you heard the sound.
What do you mean you were near a car? I mean, had you just gotten out of a car?
No, I mean, I was there. I don't want to, because I mean, if I say it, then that person's gonna know.
Well, you don't have to tell me who the car is.
And then that person's gonna know.
But that's not gonna help me. Just telling me, yeah, I was outside of a car. Or
yeah, I wasn't in a car.
You were not in a car. The car that you just got out of, was that car still there when the shooting happened?
Yeah.
Okay. So there would have been the victim's car and then the car that you got out of, correct?
Right.
Okay. What kind of, tell me color, the car that you were in?
Because everybody knows. I only have one person. I mean, they don't know him that good, but everybody knows.
Okay.
him.
So they were there when you shot this other person, correct?
They weren't like right. They were pretty much out of it. I basically had to drive that person home. All
They
right?
were drunk?
I mean, they were out of it.
Everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, where did the guy you shot, where did you park? Where was your car parked at?
I can't remember. I'm telling you, I was.
Why
messed
did
up.
you pick that spot? I mean, how did you get out of the car there?
That's when I finally caught up with the person.
Okay. So did you?
We were driving around. I was driving around looking for the person.
Okay. And then you found him in that area. Okay. So did you pull your car up next to them, or were you behind them, or where were you?
No, we didn't bring our car up next. I mean, we drove by him like 3 times just to make sure we followed him around.
Okay, but I mean, if in relationship to where their car was, where was your car?
When he was shot,
Yeah. That's not going to tell me who you were with. Where was your car in relation? I mean, was it close by,
next to it,
next to it? So,
next to the driver's side.
like, your car was facing the same direction, like you're both this way, or you know what I mean? Like, if this is the victim's car, the guy that you shot, was your car right next to his?
By.
Right next to it? Okay.
Facing the same direction?
When we first came by, yeah.
How about when you shot him? Facing
I
this?
wasn't in the car.
You got out of the car, but did you leave your car parked there right next to
Pulled
his?
off to the corner
Okay.
and got out because we were so high and got ahead. Pulled off to the corner.
Okay. So you were next to him when you saw him, and then you pulled off like over this way? Okay.
The car when it was parked, not your car, the other one. What was right around it? Okay, but the car that was parked, the guy you shot, what was
I
right
wasn't
around
looking
it?
around. I
You
was.
I mean, was
You
he
don't. I mean, you'd have to know the way. On top of being drunk,
right?
and the. I mean, I can hardly remember like exactly word for word what happened down here once it started.
Why were you following him? Why him? Just
See, that's the thing
Was
I
it
don't
just-
want to get into.
Let me ask you this: was it you were following him for the other person that was in your car? I mean, did you have a beef with this guy and you actually went
I
after
didn't
him?
have any personal beef with him.
Okay, but the person that you were in the car did? I mean, obviously you guys were
I-
following him for a reason, right? Okay, so the person in your car had a problem with him? Is that right? Okay. And after you shot him, where were you when you shot him? You know what I mean? Like if I'm him sitting in the car, where were you? You know what I mean?
Off to the side when he drove by.
To the driver's side or the passenger side?
No, I was standing. He's driving forward this way. I'm standing on the driver's side, but I'm firing.
So were you more in front of him? Like,
Well, kind of, yeah, but his car was moving. I fired. I didn't even. I'm surprised. That's why I said he could have been shot. I know he crashed, but when I shot, I don't know if I hit him.
But you were looking at him? You were in front of the car?
So, like, if I was him.
I can see him, but it was dark and there was no lights in the car. So I guessed where a driver would be.
Was his
So-
window up or down?
I swear, I don't know.
Where did your round go? Through the front window?
I don't think so. I mean, the car. When I fired, the car was moving.
Okay.
So I don't know even if I hit the car, if I hit him, or whatnot. I know I aimed towards him, and when I was aiming, the car was more to the front window, but then he came.
Okay. So you think it
I
probably
don't
went
think
through?
he was. I don't think he was even sober because he was driving pretty fast.
Okay. So you think it probably went through the side window? Your bullet.
Because he was driving, but it was aimed towards where the driver was.
Did you watch the car where it took off to?
No, I
Why did you think it crashed?
Huh?
Why did you think it crashed?
Because I heard skirt. Just I hauled ass.
Did you see what it crashed into?
We didn't. Like I said, went down a side road and like a neighborhood block road and out, and then.
What do you remember when you were going down like that neighborhood road? Do you remember seeing anything?
When I was I was really drunk, I remember seeing, like, that's the only thing I remember is stopping at that gas station.
Afterwards?
Yeah, because we were stopping and because we were looking around, and I know we had stopped and we talked about something. And me and my friend talked about something. He ain't had nothing to do with it though, but we had talked about something.
And then you stopped at the gas station after?
Yeah, because I know we were talking about places where he would go, or friends that he'd hang out with and whatnot.
Which gas station was it? Do you remember?
That's the one with the hats in it.
The one with the hats in it?
Hats in it.
The hats in it. Okay.
Yeah, it's not my neighborhood. I just there's a lot of hats, and that was like 30 minutes before, 20.
Before the shooting, you went to the gas station. Sorry.
Is it like a little store, or is it a big store?
No, it's like small. It's one of those, the counter's like this way, and everything goes back that way. And the gas, there's like 2 or 3 gas pumps this way, and over this side is where you can park.
Do you remember the color of it?
No, I'm telling you, I was just like.
Was it just like on a road, or was it like at an intersection? You know what I mean? Like, was there a traffic light there? Or?
It was near. I know it was near a neighborhood, because when we left that, we went back into a neighborhood. I talked enough not to.
Yeah, the only thing though is where the shooting took place, where you shot him at. Do you remember?
It was not my neighborhood. No.
Okay, but there's stuff around there that would stick out that's different than most neighborhood streets. Do you remember, Sonny? Can you describe the area?
When you're going in, there's this one yard that's got a fence. I mean, when you're going past it, when you're coming out of the neighborhood, that's right behind the store. All right, you go down from that store. When you're going down, there's a fence.
But the area where you shot him, can you describe that area? There's something that would definitely say that you're telling the truth.
I mean, like when you pulled your car over, when you got out of the car.
Oh, it was near a road.
But I mean, did you pull your car onto a road, or did you pull your car like up in someone's driveway or someone's yard?
Driveway. Or not driveway, but off to the side. You know how like there's a driveway and here's a road that turns around right there.
So you turned a corner. Like if the victim his car was here, you pulled up next to him, and then you turned a corner. Is that what you're saying? Like if this is the guy's car that you shot, okay? He was stopped initially, right? Because you were pulled up next to him. Is that what you told me?
Right.
Okay. And then when you got out of the car, you said you turned your car. You kind of pulled off, right? Did you pull off onto another road, or what did you pull off onto?
Right. Not onto another road, but on a block that would go up. A block. You know what a block is? And going up that, and that's where we put the car. Right there at the turn.
Where the shooting took place, though, what was on both sides of that road?
Let me get what you mean.
I mean, was it like, were there some businesses? Were there houses? What was where the shooting took place? Where
it
his
was
car?
A mixture. I mean, it was business and houses. There's businesses. Up near where his car went with businesses.
That where it crashed?
I would think so.
Okay.
And that's up towards the business part, and it's coming out of a neighborhood though, kind of. Or you know how the businesses are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What we're trying to ask, and I think it's probably so simple you don't realize, is most neighborhood streets all look the same, but in this area there was something different about where you shot him at. That's different than most neighborhood streets. I mean, it's pretty simple, but I mean, we can't. If you think about it, most neighborhood streets.
Was there like maybe not an overpass, but I can't think of anything. I mean, I wasn't that drunk not to notice where I was, but
Right.
I was.
Do you know which direction? I mean, are you good with directions, like north, south, east, and west? Kind of.
I mean, I wouldn't know if I was going north or whatnot. I know.
Would you know if you were like pointed towards Dunedin or pointed towards Largo? I mean, would you know that?
Should be pointed towards Dunedin, but possibly Largo. But should be pointed towards Dunedin.
Okay. When he drove off, was he headed towards Dunedin or was he headed towards Largo? Do you remember?
I would think Dunedin.
Dunedin. Okay.
Not 100% sure. He wasn't going the way where we left because we went towards Largo when we left, and he wasn't going that way because we obviously went the opposite way. So that's why I'm saying that, not because I knew if I was north, south, or west.
Did you have a cell phone at the time that this happened? Yeah.
My cell phone was broke, but he might have had a cell phone.
Okay. Did you make any phone calls to him or anything like that around the time that it happened?
I didn't.
Okay. What about the guy you were with? Did he make? I mean, were there any phone calls? You don't know, or you don't want to tell me?
I don't know anything about him. I mean, he didn't pull the trigger. I can just say
Right, but I'm saying, were there any phone calls that you know of between the guy that got shot and the guy that you were with?
I know he was on the phone. I mean, we were obviously in the conflict where we went to all this like certain stopping places.
Okay. And was his problem with the guy that got shot? Was his problem that he owed him money? Was that his problem with him?
I think this could have been. I mean, the guy that I was with is the cells and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what his problem was. I mean, I didn't ask questions like that.
Were you asked to shoot him, or you did it on your own, or
I don't know.
is there a reason why you?
Just didn't care. I mean, I'm not gonna point the finger at the kid.
Yeah, no.
That's fine.
The street you were on, I know we keep going. Was it like a 1 lane, 2 lane, 4 lane? How big was the street?
It was bigger than a 1 lane, and it wasn't like a narrow dirt path. But
I mean, like a normal street, that houses would be on. Was it like that size? Was it bigger?
there was a turn, so it had to be bigger. And there was a turn off to turn onto the block. I mean, it could have been back. I know there's trash. That's where trash cans out. I know trash cans were out that night.
When you come into that area, is it just a straight road, or does it go around something, or does it turn, or?
It's straight, and then you can turn off of it, though. There's a roundabout near it.
There's a roundabout near it? And what's the roundabout look like?
It's round. You can turn this way or that way, either which way you want to go.
And I'm still not clear, when you turned off, you know, the guy's car's here, you pulled your car over to the side, you said. You turned actually onto another road to pull your car off? Well, I know you weren't driving, but I mean, you would know where your car was, right?
Pretty much.
I mean, did you turn off onto another road?
Yeah, off to a road going out.
No, you said when you were shooting, when you guys went around several times, when you came back the opposite direction when you got out.
No,
Right.
we went
No.
past
Okay.
that, turned off, and I got out, and he was coming up.
Okay. So then after you shot him, he kept going past you, right?
Me, I just jumped in. I heard the car. I mean, not right away, but I heard the car screech and scream.
Mm-hmm. Did he?
I looked back. I saw taillights, so I guess he stomped on the brakes.
Okay. What about when his car was coming towards you? Did he have the headlights on? Was it nighttime?
Yeah, I know his car was real dark. I know that.
Okay.
So I mean, you could. I know it.
You were standing here when he
There's a
passed you.
street light though, I know that, because it was reflecting off his window.
Okay, but do you remember you said it was dark. Do
Did
you
he
remember
have
about
his headlights on?
I'm asking. You remember
believe
seeing
so.
his headlights? Okay.
I believe so.
You know what time about?
No, I don't.
But it was dark or light out.
It was dark.
And it would have been, you said it happened the last time that you were in Hooters?
Not the last time I was in Hooters, but the last time I kind of hanged out there
Okay.
with my friends, not with anybody else. Like,
I mean-
I lived with my family and everything, but the last time I was there hanging out.
Okay.
'Cause I was sitting in the parking lot. I mean, the lady came out, so she should know when it was, because I was backed up in the handicap.
What lady? Lady at Hooters?
Yeah, Miss Sandy. I don't know if she'll recall, but I know I was in there, and I know she looked at she looked in the car because we were backed up. We were just waiting, but we were backed up into Hooters. It wasn't my time to work, but we were at the handicap part.
Okay. Is Sandy a manager there, or?
I think so. She's night shift. She just came out, and I know she looked directly in the car, and I think she saw me.
Okay. And you were backed up in a handicap spot?
Mm-hmm. It's right in front of the Hooters.
Yeah.
You know where I'm talking about? Where the
Yeah.
Hooters is?
Uh-huh. Right across from the bus station, that Hooters?
Yeah, but you know, right when the outside bar is, there's two handicap
Right.
spots right there.
Yeah, that are right there up, like off to Bay, right? You were backed up in there. Okay. Now, and you were there with the guy that you were in the car with. Did the guy that you ended up shooting, did he come there and meet you guys there and then left, or?
No, he was just there.
He was there at Hooters. The guy that you ended up shooting later, he came to Hooters. Okay.
He didn't go in Hooters, but he came to Hooters to drop something off.
Okay.
But I don't want to put that person out there either.
Drop something off to somebody at Hooters? I mean, did he go inside or he just stayed out in the parking lot?
He just stayed out in the parking lot.
Okay. Was it dark then when you guys were at Hooters?
I was getting close.
Do you remember what the guy was wearing?
No,
The guy you shot? You don't remember what he had on?
he never got out the car.
Okay.
It was cold out, so he might have had something on. But I don't think he had anything long sleeve on. And I know that. I know I was cold, so
Okay. And you think he had like a short sleeve shirt on?
yeah, that would be noticeable.
And you went to the gas station beforehand, right? Before the shooting, not afterwards. Where'd you go afterwards?
We drove down to the neighborhood, and that's the reason why I remember the roundabout. There's a roundabout. We were driving around all through the blocks and whatnot, and up to the business section. Then we would go back down the block. We waited outside in front of a house for a little bit that had a gate, and we waited there, but there was no one there. You know, we were waiting to see if like someone come. You know. I know that we were watching that a lot. And when we started, though, we started out. We didn't start in that neighborhood. I mean, we started in other neighborhoods. Then we went to the gas station. We were basically going from place to place that we thought he might have been.
Okay.
Did you have the gun already, or when did you get the gun?
I had it already. I mean, it wasn't like something I didn't always have. I mean, it wasn't my gun, like I said.
Right.
And I don't want to point fingers at nobody, but you know, I pulled the trigger. That's all I know.
Okay. And when you got back in your car, you were driving, right? After
When
the
I got
shooting?
back and driving, because I think he was kind of placating. I mean, like he was more drunker than he really
Right, because
was.
he didn't want any part of it.
Pretty much.
Okay. And which direction?
We went to Largo.
Okay, but I mean, when you first turned off, did you immediately start heading to Largo? You know what I mean? After you shot him and you,
We came
you
back
got
the
back
way
in the car.
we came back the way we came. From I remember going not by the gas station with the road we came down, but we went up to a road and then we turned, and then we went down this road, and we passed that gas station, then we went back up to East Bank. We went all the way through the neighborhood, drove around, I mean, kind of whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That, I don't have it.
Big car,
Huh?
big rims.
Big car, big rims.
The car you were in.
Now you do realize that, you know, our thing, of course, is to get that gun off the street. That he might face some problems later.
I think the gun's legal.
It doesn't, but I mean, it's going to come back to this shooting.
Not if he doesn't do it. I mean, if he does something illegal with it, yeah.
Well, if he's ever caught with it, I'm just saying. I mean, you're saying he's not involved. I understand that, but just so you know, by not letting us get that gun back, he may face the music on that one day. I mean, that's something I don't want to see happen if he's really not involved. If it's you're the one that did the shooting.
Yeah, but then he'll be in some serious shit.
No, he's a witness. It's not serious shit because you're admitting to doing the shooting. He's just a witness, but it's keeping him from later on.
He could be an accomplice.
You're saying you did everything, okay? He's a witness, okay? That's not the important thing is to get the gun off the street.
So, but they're not. They won't understand that if they come and you got the murder weapon.
Well, they're gonna understand, but it's not gonna be us that come, okay? What I'm trying to tell you is down
Well,
the
if
road.
anybody goes, this is.
Are these guys white guys or black guys?
No, they're mainly black, but the one dude, he's white.
The main one
Yeah. Well, the one I was with
is a white guy.
Yeah. The owner of the gun's white.
Okay. Was it just you and he in the car, or were there others in the car?
Just me.
You sure? There were others in the car, weren't there? Come on, Leo. There were others in the car. Just tell me that. You're not telling me who they are.
Well, I don't know them. I mean,
Okay, but there were more than just you and he in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
After the shooting, did you give him the gun right back or did you just throw it in the car? What'd you do with the gun?
Put it on the driver's seat. And when I got dropped off, I said it's on the driver's seat.
Where'd they drop you off? Back at your house?
Near my house. I mean, I walked down. They dropped me off at the BP.
The one thing, I don't know how to put it, but I think it's simple. It's where that shooting took place. There's something odd about that area that it's different than most neighborhoods that you'd be able to. It's simple, but something that's around there, something
That's different.
that every other neighborhood street doesn't have. You know how you drive down a normal street, they have houses on both sides of the road. There's something about that area where the shooting took place that's not like any other street that would stick out in your mind.
Nothing stuck out in my mind, period. All I know is the afterwards. I know that's when, you know,
Right, your heart's going.
I remember hauling ass across Missouri into the neighborhood and dishing around.
You went across Missouri towards the beach or like towards Hooters?
No, towards Hooters, but we didn't.
Afterwards.
Yeah, to drive on back because we had to get down to Rosary. That's to get down to my house.
Right.
And you know, we just came up and crossed Missouri real quick, turned off into the neighborhood, and then drove the back way. There's a back way you can drive. You know, if you go down one neighborhood, then you turn down and you go down another, and you'll come out on Rosary, and you turn on Rosary, and you go down Rosary, and then there's this like Mexican Alamo-looking type of building, and you could turn right there.
The guys in the car or the guy that was chasing them, did they ever say what the guy's nickname was or a name for the guy you shot?
Oh, the nickname for the guy?
Yeah, I'm not asking the guys in the car, but nobody ever mentioned a name or nickname or who he was?
No.
But they were looking for him because he owed him money for drugs?
I know that he had crossed the main person in the car, crossed the driver. I know the other people in the car were like homeboys and whatnot. But I know he owed money. Well, I don't know money, but I know he crossed them.
Okay.
I didn't see, the thing was, I didn't want to know too much information. And they didn't want to know too much information about me. But, you know.
Did they pay you to shoot him? I mean, how did it fall upon you, who didn't even know the guy, to be the one that pulled the trigger?
I kind of knew the head person and whatnot, and it's kind of. I mean, I don't want to go into.
I understand you don't want to get them involved.
They're not in trouble. We're just asking how you came about.
How did you? I mean, you didn't even know the guy. How did it come that you were the one that pulled the trigger?
Is that red building? I mean, the red brick building, the thing that's standing out in your mind? The one that's real shitty?
No, there's a red brick shitty building past that area.
Right.
Right, but there's something. It's probably so simple you're not even thinking about it, and I don't.
I mean, going away, I know we came out by the BBQ shack. You know where the BBQ shack is? And then we turned back in and we went down the neighborhood again. We didn't just go, we drove around for a good little minute, you know. But
Which barbecue shack are you talking about?
it's white and it says BBQ in red letters. I'd never been there, never went there. I mean, we came out near there. That's away from where it happened.
That'd be quite a ways away.
Right. That's when we
down on almost Clearwater Largo Road. You're talking about.
Yeah, I believe it is.
But that's not. That's on the other side of town, right?
Right.
Okay. And the shooting took place. That's because what you're talking about. The barbecue shack is down almost to Largo. Right. But you did the shooting on the other part of the other part of Greenwood.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. When we turned off,
yeah.
we jetted down that way.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So
I know by the golf course.
Yeah.
By the golf course?
And when we were coming to get to it, there was this roundabout.
But after the shooting, it would have taken you a few minutes to get down there.
Right.
Okay.
We were hauling ass, so
Right.
much.
But you're on that's South Greenwood area. You did the shooting up in the North Greenwood area.
Like I said, we went zigzagging through the neighborhoods and went out.
Right. Okay.
I understand we didn't just
that.
pop out there.
But I guess the area where the shooting, I mean, was there anything you remember? School, post office, park, anything around there that you know of?
Not a post office.
Yeah, but nothing. I mean,
do you remember how
there could have been a park, but it wasn't like right next to a park. I don't think it was.
Do you remember how the roads, I mean, could you draw me a picture kind of where your car was and where his car was? Do you remember enough about that?
His car was coming down the road like this.
Here, no. Go ahead and draw it for me because it's just easier.
His car was coming down the road like this. And we came up like this and we just drove by like nothing, you know.
Okay.
And that was him. You know?
Okay.
We drove down another road.
So this is a road down here where you drove down. Okay.
We drove down another road.
Okay.
Until we found another road, and we had to circle back until I think we turned like twice till we got back to here at this point.
Okay.
And we jetted down again until we caught up with them.
Okay.
He had turned right here.
Okay.
When we found him again, when we caught up again, because we hauled ass down here. When we came back out, we drove around just like this. We passed him real quick and pulled off to the side.
Okay.
I got out and he drove by, and then we went down the road like that.
Was there any? Did you have any words with him? I mean, was there any yelling back and forth between you two, or?
There was like and all that in the car I was in, but
the car that you were in.
Yeah, but there wasn't like.
But you didn't say anything. He didn't say anything.
I just got out of the car and got over there between them, and that was them.
Did you say anything to him?
I mean, they yelled and whatnot in the car, and they're like, and then it was like, all right, shoot. And
okay. How close from where you guys pulled off and parked your car and he was driving? Okay, you know what I mean? You passed him. You passed him.
Right, we were
and pulled over. Right. And then you got out of the car.
Yeah, we got ahead of him.
How close would you say, at the point where you shot him, the car that you got out of, how close was that to his car? You know what I mean? I mean, was it like right there, or was it?
Our car close to it? Well, eventually he passed it. Yeah, it would be right there when he passed it.
Okay, so your car was like right there basically on the road that he was on. You just kind of turned off a little bit.
Like I said, I was drunk, but I mean,
I understand.
At the same time, I don't want to give away certain people.
Okay, and I'm not concerned really about the other people. I'm just concerned that I have enough information that I can say.
Why does it really matter if you can say I can do it or not?
Because
I'm in jail anyways. I mean, I'm not.
Right, but if I go back to Clearwater and I can tell my supervisor and I can tell our chief of police that, yeah, I'm confident that Leo Boatman did this murder, we don't need to investigate it anymore. We just need to wait until he's done with all of his deal up in Marion County, and then he'll talk to us about this one, then that's fine. But if I go back and I say, well, I can't say that he did it, then, we got to still keep investigating it. We got to go out and, talk to people and everything like that. I just need to be able to feel confident that you did this.
The car I was in had really big wheels. So, I mean, it sounds like someone saw the car anyways. Right? And then that's a dead giveaway with the car. I mean.
Well, I know what you're talking about, where the wheels make it way too high.
Not make it. The wheels were just big.
Yeah.
Like wide or like
no
tall. Okay.
Older model car.
One's the kind of squarish, not the roundish type these days. I mean, not totally squarish, but.
Can you at least give us the color, so we know that you were there? We're trying to get enough details.
It's dark. Color.
I know.
Red, green, blue. I have it covered black.
I mean, if I give the color of the car, I'm telling you, just by giving the wheels, wait, hold on, Leo. A car with big wheels is not an oddity in Clearwater.
In North Greenwood, there's a lot of cars.
The color.
Is it orange and blue?
I'm not gonna give the color.
Is the car orange and blue?
Burnt orange?
I'm not gonna give the color.
Leo, you can give us that.
Is it a burnt orange? It is, isn't it?
It can look a lot different, though. It can look, you don't know what color. I mean, the lights, the way the paint job. It's a unique paint job.
How many doors?
4 doors.
4 doors. Is it an old Chevy Caprice?
Box. I said box.
Okay.
Box.
All right. Well,
I said square box.
Okay.
But I can't. I mean, giving you a car is giving you the person that was driving that.
So if you tell us this car, we're gonna go, oh, that's so and so's car, right?
So you can't say.
I mean, is this some person that we know? Probably being police officers in Clearwater.
Yeah,
this is some person that we know.
I mean, yeah, he sells. I mean, I don't know if y'all know him. Don't got police banging down his door.
Okay, and the guy that actually owns the car you said was a white guy, right? The other guys were black, but that guy's a white guy.
The guy was driving the car.
But you do realize by telling us the car that it doesn't. Still, we don't know who's driving it because those guys, more than one person drive those cars.
The guy that was driving the car is small.
White guy, small white guy.
He ain't taller than me. I mean, he's not humongous, but he's not somebody I'd be physically scared of.
And obviously we have witnesses up there, but we're just trying to get you to tell us the color. I mean,
it's box. It's a box.
The Caprice box, the 4-door Caprice box.
Chevy. No.
Oh, box Chevy.
You know the song. I mean, well, you probably don't, but.
Well, I know, but we just got to get you to say it. The colors. I mean, we're sitting there trying to throw it out, but that's not gonna. You're not giving anything up, Leo, because everybody drives different. One car is driven by more than one person. But we've got to be able to prove that you're up in that area.
The guy that was driving was white. I'm not saying that everybody in that car was white, but the guy that was driving was white.
Okay.
Can you at least give us the color to match what we got?
I'm telling you.
Well, yeah.
You probably even have a person right now that owns that car or something and whatnot. I mean,
I can.
How many people? I mean, there's the big wheel thing is going around,
right?
Yeah.
Especially Greenwood right now.
Right.
Box Chevys are going around.
So is box Chevy.
Well, that's the main car that you can put on wheels like that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, unless it's the Lincoln.
Because aren't they like 26s?
I mean, they're big.
Yeah.
Their tires have to be changed a lot because the rims are so big that the tires wear out.
Right, it wears them out.
They can't even make a turn.
Right, and like if sometimes when they're sitting at a stop, that's another thing. When we pull it away, when you're sitting at a stop and you take off, you gotta take off slow because if you take off too fast, the wheels spin. And so, they spun.
We're just asking for the color. That's all. Because there's so. I mean, but there's not. You're acting like it's one of 100. There's tons of those.
There's actually a lot of box Chevys
Not
with
real,
big
not,
wheels.
not that I've been seen around me.
Well, I've never met you before today. I never heard your
But
name until I read about you at
if
the
you
same.
go out there, people have seen. I mean, I don't think the person will remember, but I know one time, a person had wanted to get pills, and I knew someone that had sold them, and I brought them to him, and it went from there. So if comes through, and I know that person there would rat out the person that owns the car, and then I don't want them, you know what I mean? I don't want them seeing any way that I'm going on them. I'll take the fall because I'm the main guy that's in the wrong.
Right.
Because no one put a gun to my head and told me to do it.
Right.
So I'll take the fall for what I did, but I won't point at someone else and then take the fall for what I did and then have to worry about something else from them.
Okay, but you understand, I mean, the state's going to use these guys as witnesses anyway, because you're the shooter. They all they need to do is close their case.
Well, they don't have to worry about anything if you're just cleaning the slate and you're pleading guilty up there. I mean, you don't have to worry about anything.
I mean,
I don't see why
you're
you
guilty down there.
Okay, well then if you're worried about that, then nobody's coming to court. Okay, and it's what's up here once again is the worst thing. So if you pled guilty up here, pleading guilty down there, it's no big deal. Okay, but they're not going to come to court. But we're just trying to make sure that
exactly. So
I mean, nobody cares.
And plus, I haven't been exactly access to the newspaper or the news or anything.
Yeah, but
I've been in a cell with a blanket, and that's it.
We're just asking for a few details to lock everything in. That's all we're doing. We're 90% there. We're just trying to get that other 10%. Just give us a little more. We can get. We're almost all done, and then you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, but if I say something wrong, then you can get these guys. I mean,
we're not
listen,
listen, Leo, you're the guy. You said you're the guy that pulled the trigger. You're the guy that shot him.
But there's called accomplices. If you're in a car, right? Check this out. I shoot a cop, and the guy, it's his car and whatnot, and he lets me use it, and he's sitting right there in the car. He's going down.
There's the key. Shoot a cop. People care if you shoot a cop. People don't care if you shoot a guy who's up, using drugs. People don't care.
But also, they'd rather use those people as witnesses.
Against me? They won't witness against me. I doubt it because they don't want me witnessing against them.
Okay, and they might not. But we just need a few more things to put this over the edge so we can go back and tell our chief, I'm confident Leo's the one that did this murder. We don't need to worry about it. He's the one that did it. I mean, we just need a few more details. And there's just a couple things you're not.
I mean, we're asking minor stuff. You've given almost everything, like the car. I mean, everything. We're just asking.
Windows were tinted.
Windows are tinted.
It's big, shiny wheels.
Big shiner spinners. Box Chevy, probably the Caprice 4-door.
Yeah.
Can you give us a color range? Not probably bright or dark, but just give us the color range.
Like, is it in the red family? Is it in the blue family?
The tan
family?
Black
family? The tan family?
It's in the car colors that stand out. I mean, most people, we call it Mexican mobile. I mean,
right.
The way it's not like,
Leo, is it the burnt orange gold one?
Look at me.
Well, come on.
Leo, look at me. Is it the burnt orange one?
But then you know who's.
Yes or no? I'm not asking. Yes or no? Is it the burnt orange one?
I'll say this about the car. When the lights are, when you like driving down and you're driving down the street and the lights are on it, then it looks chameleon. The colors like.
Okay, what color? Let's at least give us this. What color would you put it closest to? In the main primary colors, what color would you put it closest to? What I think Mexican, but I mean, what color would you put it closest to the primary color?
It's not the normal colors.
Well, what would you put it closest to?
I mean,
I know it's not a normal color.
I mean, it's not a color. It's a color you want to see. If I tell you the color, you know the person.
Just tell us the closest color it would come to. If you had to guess, red, orange, yellow, blue, tan.
I'm trying to remember when you mix colors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, back in kindergarten, you mix your colors.
We don't want you to go that far to mixing colors.
Because then we're going to have to go do an experiment to try to figure out which color you're talking about.
If you had to give me a primary color, what one would you put it closest to? Yellow, black,
not yellow.
Tan, brown,
no, not
black,
not black.
Purple, green, purple, green, gold.
I mean, all right. Think. Expand. I mean, like kind of Mexican-ish colors. I mean, they're into the lowrider thing, right?
Right.
When they do cars, they're either gonna be, from like you said, and orange colors that stand
Gold
out,
and orange.
green, colors that stand out. I mean, it wasn't green, but colors that stand out.
Like an orange would stand out.
Burnt orange.
I'm not saying it's burnt orange. I'm not saying that.
Would it be closer to
I've said more than
Okay,
that.
let me ask you this.
Dude, I'm sorry for calling that.
That's
but
fine. You
when
call
I-
me dude all you want.
When I was gonna say, all I wanted to say, look, there's a guy that I shot in a white car,
Okay.
and I know he was a guy, and I know he was younger. He wasn't real old. I mean,
But Leo, we understand that, and we're not trying
That's
to get anything.
all I was gonna say.
And we're not trying to be jerks to you, but we're also trying to. When we walk out that door, you don't have to worry about anything because you've told us everything, okay? And we're not trying to get your friends, okay?
I'm
We're
just
not-
trying to know with confidence
but
that you
I
did
mean,
it.
how would I know all
Because
this?
you're not. I mean, there's stuff that
Unless
I
I'm
know
locked up
about.
with someone from Pinellas County, and I'm not meant allowed around anyway.
Well, yeah, you're by yourself, so I know that's
and I'm
not
not
the
allowed
case.
to have anything. I mean,
But
I had novels for a couple of days, but they took those
They
away.
pull those away from you.
So, but now,
But
I'm
I mean, there's
hopefully,
stuff about my case that I know that you haven't told me. And I mean, I need you told me a lot, but I just need enough to put it over the edge that I can go back and tell my chief that, yeah, I know Leo did our case. We don't need to worry about it anymore.
The red brick building you were talking about, can you describe it?
Shitty. It was small, but it
Is
was
there anything nearby it? In the road, on the road? That
not on the road, but there's like the grass and whatnot that's near it, and you know what I'm saying? There's the lot and everything, it's all falling down, I mean, not falling down, but it's not clean. It's dirty. You know what I mean? We're all past it and I'm drunk, I mean.
I understand. Anything across the street from the red building?
Not houses.
Okay, what was it?
Don't know exactly. I know there's like business lights and whatnot. I mean, I don't know if it's businesses, but maybe like not, I want to say store-wise, but maybe like a place where people might work or something. Some type of job they might go to.
Okay. And that'd be going towards Dunedin from where the shooting took place?
I believe it was towards the end, like I said. Because when we turned and we went back, from the way we turned, we went towards Largo. Like I said, we went towards the BBQ shack. That's Clearwater Largo Road.
Right.
Then we turned, and then we turned back in the neighborhood, went up, and then we went down, and we crossed Missouri we went all the way up, and we crossed Missouri near Rosary, but we didn't want to like go down, Missouri. It's a big road.
Right.
So we went back into the neighborhood, and because when you cross, we wanted to get across the road quick. I mean, when you cross, like I said, the wheels spin. And we almost lost control of the car when we were going across the road. Because I mean, I've never driven a car with wheels like that. And
Okay. How about something that won't get your friends in trouble? Let's go back and try to think. The car, the guy that you shot. Try to describe his car the best you can.
white, and it wasn't, it could have been a Ford. It was an American car. I know that. I think it was an American car. It didn't look like, it could have been a Honda. I know they have cars like that, but it wasn't like, it was a white car.
Like a Honda what? What body style are you looking at?
I'm not car. I've been locked up.
Do you remember if it was a 2-door or
Right.
4-door?
So I don't know.
Yeah. Do
Cars.
you remember if it was a 2-door or 4-door?
I think it could have been. It could have been 4-door. I mean, it was small. I mean, but it wasn't that small. It wasn't like a big car. It was white, and
Okay.
I can kind of draw a picture of it. I mean, I don't know what type of car it was. I'm just gonna give you the body style,
Okay.
not the round, just because I can't draw. The front kind of sleeps in. I mean, it's not round like, say like a Buick or something like
Right.
that. The front kind of sleeps in and comes up. And it's a smaller, the back's kind of small. I'm not doing that right. It doesn't look right, but the back's kind of small. That's too big, but the back's kind of small. The main thing that's distinct about it though is the front, The front, with the bumper in the front and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know how some cars kind of are small in the front wise? Do you know what I mean?
I'm not sure.
Had a
where
long
you're going
front
with this.
end?
Not long front, not so much long front. And the front, you know how some cars are like big in the front and whatnot, grill wise and whatnot.
Right, okay.
It kind of narrows.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, it wasn't sporty. It wasn't
Okay.
a sport car.
I mean, it was just like a bit.
It's an old lady's car. I mean, that's what I would see driving it.
Okay.
But it was not like. It's not a car that most people want to drive. Well, I don't know about. It's not a car to be ashamed of, but it's not a car that. It's not one of those.
It's not like flashy or anything like that.
It wasn't a popular car.
You don't remember, you said you thought he was wearing short sleeve. You don't remember like a color shirt or anything that he had on?
I mean, I just remember, and because I didn't see him when I shot. I remember I kind of sided up with Joe. I saw him somewhat, when he was kind of giving something at Hooters.
Okay.
And
did he come up to your car when you guys were at Hooters?
no,
He met
he
with
was near
somebody
the
else.
trash can in the dumpster when he drove by. Someone came out the back part of Hooters where the barricades are and stuff. But it didn't look like that, and I know at that time I was cold.
Okay.
When I got out, I didn't have a sweater on.
Do you remember what he looks like?
Right.
Do you remember what he looks like?
He had dark hair.
I mean, if you saw him again, can you recognize him?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I take my time, but I believe I could recognize him again.
Okay. Right. Do you mind hanging out here? I just want to ask him a question outside. Are you in a hurry to get back to jail?
Hanging out, but
I mean, you're hanging out.
This room right here is
What
weird.
What room?
This room, the carpeted room, all the same colors, and when you guys aren't in here, you don't understand how quiet this room is.
I mean, you're better off hanging
I don't
out here
mind.
than you are at the jail, right?
It's not like I'm doing anything.
Exactly. You got nowhere to go.
Well, hopefully I'm
Right?
off this SP. Well, I'm off the SP thing today, so
Okay.
I'm about to go to the house.
All right.
Okay.
We'll just hang out here we won't be gone for more than a minute.
Do anything to drink or anything? Going back. I know how good you were at the sketching there. What school did you go to?
SBC.
Did you? What high school?
I was locked up for it, but I got a good private school.
Which one was that?
PAL, Police Athletic School, my high school.
You were talking about where the shooting was, okay? You described it as
Near an open area, but there's open.
it was an open area?
No, it was near an open area.
Okay.
It'd be off to the right. When we're going down this way, I'll go this way, it'd be an open area. When we turn
Okay.
But
Draw where you
road
think.
wasn't narrow.
Okay, where it happened, draw that area again, like you were drawing before, that first time.
When we're going down a road, all right. It's not a very short road, but we're going down a road, right?
Mhm.
He's not that far along, but say he's right here.
Mhm.
All right, we go past him, we see him, then we drove around and drove this way.
Okay.
And we had to make probably about 2 or 3 turns to get up to here.
Okay. You come here and you drive around this way.
Yeah,
What is in here?
that's the neighborhood. Like I said, 2 or 3 turns. And up this way, near where the turn is, where we came down, up this way right here is where the store is. Right? And up this way, if you were going
Okay,
that
is
way,
that store, is it like this? Is that how it sits on the road? The store, or how does the store sit?
I wouldn't see it like that.
You wouldn't?
Not when we got out, because we were parked on this side of the store.
Okay. So if this,
Yeah, it could sit like that, but when you come on the road, it doesn't look like that.
okay.
We're going down this
Okay.
way to get to the
This store, if this is where it's happening, would it be down here? Down here.
Well, yeah, but basically the road that gets to here would be down here.
Okay.
And there is like almost practically a straight road that gets down to here. From the store.
Right.
To the road that he was on.
Okay, so that straight road that comes up, okay?
Right.
When you turn off that straight road, though, to get here, is that a straight shot or no? You have to make a couple turns.
To get when we turned off.
Here's the straight road from
This
the
is a
store.
straight road to this road.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And we turn here and we finally passed him. Right. We passed him, came back, and we had to go through the neighborhood, and there was like a couple other things, but it was basically, we turned and we got back to this road. We came down, and right when he was turning off to this road, we saw his headlights. And we came around and we came past him, and then we pulled off to the side.
Yeah. Was this a one-way or two-way street? Do you remember?
It wasn't a small road, so it's got a one-way means.
I mean,
Only
you don't remember from what you're saying here. You don't remember
This road right here, one way? No.
Okay, but you don't remember anything in that area, just houses?
Yeah, like I said, we were flying through our eyes were on the car that we were chasing.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like a high-speed chase or nothing, but the car we were trying to follow. But I remember there's walking signs.
Walking signs?
Like slow down crossing signs. Not school crossing signs, but, the square ones,
What were the kind of warning signs? Were they slow down for
like
what?
they could have been like the regular children in the neighborhood ones.
Children at play type signs?
I don't know exactly what that sign looks like, but
Okay. Well.
there's little.
Now you said something about an open area. Was there an open area by where you did this shooting?
Off to the right, there's open area where you can go back. I mean, kind of like nothing. There's nothing that I could see over there, house-wise or business-wise.
Was that on the street or was that on a corner or what?
Corners. It wasn't like, or it was like on the street, but it was.
So if his car's facing this way to the right of that, okay, what was to the left side? I mean,
to where we turned off and went down towards.
now this area, the area was pretty big. The open area.
The open area.
Yeah.
It seemed that way. It was just dark over there. I didn't see houses and stuff, whatnot. I mean, I didn't go over that way. Where I went, I jumped over.
Anything you can remember about this big open area?
I just remember going fast and seeing that sign. It's like, it's like
slow down.
when you're going. Say it wasn't that I saw a school, but you just say when you're going through a school crossing zone, and it's not school time, but you see those 15 or however much it wants you to go, and you're thinking, wow, I'm going am I supposed to slow down or something like that? I remember kind of that. So
can you think that I'm just in that open area? Can you just think if you saw anything in that open area that stands out?
I wasn't looking at that.
Yeah.
I was more concerned with the houses. I mean, people like being outside or whatnot. I know the further we went down before we, I remember seeing the red brick building and then turn. When we left, because I've never.
When you went to the red brick building, the guy you shot was behind you? Was he behind you then after
Yeah, he would be behind me.
You got in the car and took off and he was back behind you?
Right.
Okay.
You just gotta remember when you're think about it, you pull up real quick, hurry up, get out the car and get over there where they won't see you when he's driving by and everything. And you run over there and whatnot, and you're waiting until you get the signal. You gotta think of how much adrenaline.
Well, I understand that.
Back.
But there's certain things in that area that if you thought for a minute, just try to seriously think there's something in that area that should stand out.
Like a neighborhood type of thing.
Yeah.
It would, there's a park near there, but that's not like right.
What's the park look like?
It was dark. It's not my neighborhood.
Is that park right, the area where you were taking off?
He wasn't like right in front of the park, but it could have been a park. I'm not gonna say 100% it was a park. No, there's a sign out there. Like not a sign, but one of those ones that go on the ground somewhere.
Like a little wooden sign?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that would be in the area where you did the shooting? Okay. And can you describe what the little sign looks like?
I just know there was a sign post there.
So
I don't
you
even
think-
know what it said on it.
Okay. But you think it was like a park area?
Could have been.
Could have been. Do you remember
I
anything?
mean, I could guess a lot of things.
Well, I mean, just think in your
Park-
mind.
When I think park, I think like St. Pete type of park, like Camel Park.
No.
That's the type of parks I think.
No.
So that's not park, you know.
You see the little sign.
Right.
But
A sign I would associate with parks, you know, but it could be associated with like an apartment complex. It could be associated.
okay. But that was right close by to where the shooting took place? The sign?
Yeah, it was close by.
It was close by. Do you remember the color of the sign? Okay. I understand what you're thinking of, a big park, okay? But, okay, then that area
It's
was
just a place where you can go and there's no houses and whatnot.
Yeah. Is that what was there? That area where the sign
but,
was?
I mean, it was dark though.
It was dark, but there was no houses. It was an open area. Is that what you're saying?
There was no houses there. But further on down, there was that red brick building. I know
Right,
that.
but that's after you pass that open area, the park area.
Right.
What that sign is, there's no houses in there.
Right.
But as you go down, then that.
Why do we go? I mean, I don't.
But where the red brick
so-
building is past that.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
It's not right next to it or anything. It's past it.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Okay.
Why do we have to get into specifics? It seems like you're trying to get someone else.
No. We're not trying. Let me explain to you. Okay, I'm not trying to get anybody
I
else.
really don't mind.
Okay.
Just try to.
Okay, listen. The reason
I have
is
no
okay.
reason to tell you
Okay,
something.
I've got to be able to say that you didn't hear this on TV and just is trying to make it up. Okay, that's what I've got to say. There's certain things that if you're involved, you know. That's all we're getting at. Have I asked you any question other than that color of the car, which we had the problem with? I have not asked you specifics of the other people involved, have I? Have I broke that to you? No, I haven't. Okay, I haven't done anything to you. Have not said any tricks, and I have not done anything. Okay. But I've got to be able to put you there. Things that only you would know if you really committed the crime, okay? Because you know there's people in this world that will take credit for stuff they didn't do.
I don't have a reason.
I understand that.
I'm
but
never going to see it outside again.
I understand that, but I've got to be able to say that he was there, okay? That's it. There's no game. There's no tricks. That's it, okay?
There was an open area.
Okay.
It wasn't a school, though. You guys said school.
Right.
It wasn't. I know there wasn't a
Right.
school.
So you're saying, let me just repeat, and I'll put in words in your mouth. You come up, there's a little sign. You don't know what the sign says, but you associate it
Not
with
like a sign that goes up, the sign that stays on the ground.
On the ground.
The post.
and you think it was wood?
Brown wood. It could be.
Okay. And you associate that with like a park, but you don't know what it said. And that was in the area where you did the shooting, where you shot the guy.
Mm-hmm.
As you took off and got down the road to where the red brick building was, there was no more open area.
Right.
Right. Okay. That's all. There's no tricks involved, okay?
Did I give away a person just now?
You didn't give away a person. Why would that give away a person?
Because people might see.
Leo, look at me. Leo, I didn't ask anything right then except for the area where you shot the guy. You already admitted you shot him, right?
Right.
You already said you pulled the trigger, you shot him once. Have I asked you if anyone else? No.
Right.
Okay?
Here's a question.
Okay.
Here's a question. All right. First of all, I haven't seen TV yet. I wish I could have a TV though. If you guys could arrange that for me, since I'm being in a circle raffle.
Well, if you come back to Pinellas and we get enough, maybe we can arrange that. I can't promise anything like that.
But like I was gonna say though. Anyways, I know I can tell for a fact. I can tell you this much: the guy, if he was hit, he was only hit once. I can tell you that much.
Where were you aiming?
I was aiming at the driver.
Okay, but
the driver was in motion.
Was there a particular area on his body you were aiming?
No, I couldn't. Like I said, I couldn't see in the car.
Okay. And how far do you think he was when you shot him? How far do you think from the gun to him?
When I shot, he was probably about 30 yards away, but he was driving in motion. So, I mean, he was coming at me, so I couldn't guess it accurately.
Now, without giving anyone away, did you know a nickname or a name for him?
For the guy that got shot?
Yeah. Had anybody ever said how they knew him?
Like I said, I didn't really know him that much. I know.
Did you know what he did for a living?
I think he sold. I mean, he could.
Did what?
He could have sold drugs. I don't know if like his.
You don't know what he did?
Like his occupation?
Yeah.
No, I don't know his occupation.
You were just doing it for these other guys who I'm not going to ask you who they were. You were just doing it because they were upset at him. because he owed him money for drugs?
He could have. I mean, that's what I would guess. This is my assumption.
Okay.
That's what I would guess.
The guy that asked you to shoot him, right? Well, did he say why he wanted you to shoot him?
I don't know. I mean,
You just didn't care, you said. Isn't that what you said earlier?
it's kind of...
Well, I mean, tell me, you just didn't care anymore? Or what?
One of the guys I kind of knew from my bad days and knew what I was like. I mean, not the guy in the thing, but one of the guys I was locked up with, and he's from Greenwood, and couple. But one of the guys that was a friend, there was a kid that I was locked up with, knew what I was like. So he was like, and I was kind of okay friends with the white kid, and not like friend wise, just kind of someone where to get something from if you needed it. And so when I guess he must have like said something to him that I would probably be wrong for a reason, but then somehow he just found out that I'd do it, and it was arranged and whatnot, and we were giving up on not finding him. We had a bottle and all. We had a bottle of EJ. We were giving up on not finding him. So when we did find him, it was like, oh shit, like there he is right there. We've looked all over. There the fucker is right there.
And when this gun, you already had it on you?
I didn't exactly have it on me. It was given to me.
He gave it to you?
Yeah. And then when
That's
I got
the little white dude?
Yeah, and you can, when I got back in the car, I didn't know how to drive. I mean, it's different driving a car with wheels like that.
So you drove it away from the scene?
Not exactly, but when we got away, it was like he was driving. So if anybody saw the car afterwards, after the scene, then they would know that
he was driving.
Well, they would know that the person driving didn't know how to drive a car with wheels like that because I kept spinning the wheels out of control.
Okay. But after you shot him, you got back in the passenger side?
Yeah, because we were
Where did you switch driving at?
When we got around the next corner, when we jumped out and said, because the guy in the back was saying, pull over and let me drive or let someone else drive because you're fucking swerving, whatnot. Because he was drunk. The guy driving was drunk. I mean, he could have been playing like he didn't know it. And then later on, when they dropped me off, because it's like they were all acting like drunker than they really were.
Did you ever talk to them again?
I didn't talk to the white kid again.
When did
he left a voicemail on my phone.
Comparative, I'm not asking you anything about up here, but when this happened up here, when you left to come up here, when did this happen in comparison to that?
What do you mean?
Okay, the day you left to get the bus to come up here, you took a bus from Clearwater?
Mm-hmm.
The shooting in Clearwater where you shot the guy, when did that happen compared to that day, time frame wise? You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying?
When did it happen? I was in Ocala. It obviously didn't happen then.
No. Okay, but the day you left on the bus to come to Ocala, okay? Did this happen day, 2 days, week, 2 weeks, 2 months, year? When did it happen to the date that you left Clearwater?
I'm not going to use the exact date. I'll say it was before I left Clearwater.
Okay, I understand, but why not the exact date?
It was like right before I left. Because
what's the difference?
People knew who I was with that day.
Well, it doesn't matter. You've already said everything. I'm just trying.
The people know. This is what I'm trying to say.
The
car and the person I was with.
Okay.
That car stands out. If someone sees me in that car.
Listen, Leo. This has nothing to do with that, okay? Because obviously that person you've hung out with before. You already said that, okay? You've been in that car before. I'm off the car subject, okay? I don't care about that, okay? And that's not going to get anyone else in trouble, okay? Whether somebody was with you that day or not doesn't mean that they're involved, okay? So let's get away from that. All I'm asking is a simple question. Is that day, when was it?
I left Monday night, late Monday night on the bus. So it was before.
Okay, what day was it before?
Well, when can I say this?
Yeah.
When I left to Ocala, my whole intention was to come up here and just camp out and hike, right? So when I was really leaving, the really reason why I just disappeared, if you check around the time I disappeared, there's a reason why I disappeared.
Okay.
Because I wanted to wait until see if anybody had pointing
I
the finger at
understand
me.
that. I understand that.
So
Well, Leo, it's not going to
to.
hurt you anymore. I'm just trying to get you. That Monday night you left for the bus to come here, what day would it have been that you did this? That's all I'm asking. And then it's not going to hurt or help you, but that pretty much will help put you, so I don't have to blame the people you were with, okay? Because I'm not worried about that, okay? But you left Monday night on the bus, so when did this happen?
I wasn't working.
You weren't working. It was your day off?
I was off.
Okay. Can you just give me the day? I mean, I'm just asking. Just give me that. It's not going to hurt anyone else, okay?
No, but see what I'm saying is people that I was with that day.
Okay, but
This is the day it happened.
But can you save me
And
the
so
Okay,
the person,
Leo,
people, my other friends that run
Okay.
this, my close friends know who I was with, and then boom, that points the finger
But Leo,
at them.
your close friends, aren't you with them all the time anyways?
Pretty much.
Okay, so that doesn't matter, okay? If me and you hung out all the time, it doesn't matter that...
Say me and you hung out all the time, right?
Yeah.
And you see me in a very specific car that I normally don't see me in, hanging out with a group that you probably only see me around one person in that whole car. And you say, you know what I mean?
Okay, but Leo, that's not going to matter. Please, let's not worry. I'm just saying, let's not worry about that, okay? You hang out with that guy, you hang out in that car, that could be almost any day.
I gave you stuff that I possibly couldn't know.
I know.
Just possibly could
Leo,
not know.
Can you at least give me this? Come on. Please.
What?
Please, just give me the day a week. Because, I mean, you've already given me enough. If I go down there, I got to find what day you were off and bother the manager. I don't really want to bother the manager.
I don't work during the night, so you couldn't
just-
get in anyways.
Just give me the day, and that's all. Please, just give me that. I'm just asking. Give me that favor for driving all this way up here. Just give me the day.
I've forgiven you, though.
I know, just give me the... I know.
Did you have
I did,
stuff?
I did lay off the car and your friends, didn't I? I haven't... Okay, listen, I've granted you that. I've laid off the
If
gun.
I give you the day, man. If I give you the day, I give you the people.
Okay, listen,
And if
no,
I give you
no,
the people,
no, no.
then I don't want
Okay,
it.
but Leo, okay, listen. Let's understand. I laid off the gun. I laid off the friends.
Well, no, did the gun? I mean, I really
Okay,
don't know.
but I laid off asking you the friends
Oh, you want
particulars,
to know
okay?
who owned the gun?
Right. I've laid off that. I've laid off asking for friends' names. I've laid off asking who's in Mexi. I've laid off an exact color for the car. I've laid off all that. All I'm asking is, can you just give me the day? That's all. Please. One thing. Throw me a bone, give me the day. I've laid off the rest. I'm not going to ask you anything about your friends. I've given you that courtesy. Can you give me the courtesy of the day? And
It was after Christmas. That gives you. It was before.
it was after Christmas. Just throw
I
me.
tell you,
Come on.
I mean, obviously it was after Christmas, but
All right, just give me the day a week.
day.
You left Monday to come here. So what day was it? That's all I'm asking. I'll lay off the rest. I'm not going to ask you about the
It
friends
happened within that week. I mean, I obviously left.
within that week. Come on, just
Check and see when I was at Hooters the week before.
can't you save me the trouble?
What do you get paid for?
I drove all the way up here to talk to you. Can't you at least give me the courtesy not to go to
At least
Hooters?
you're not doing paperwork.
I'm fat. If I go to Hooters, I'm gonna eat more wings and then I'm gonna gain weight. Save me that food.
They do have some good girls up there. Wait until Sandy's shift.
Come on, just give me
I
that.
don't want to eat the food up there. I worked in the kitchen. You don't.
All right, don't go there. Just give me the day. That's all. And I won't ask you any more things about your friends. Okay? I won't ask you anything more about your friends. But can you just give me the day?
I wrecked the motorcycle that day.
You wrecked the motorcycle that day.
Well, not that day, but
Okay, well, can you at least, because I know, well, not that day. What day did you wreck the motorcycle?
well, I wrecked the motorcycle the day I left.
Okay.
Somewhat,
That was the Monday.
right?
But when did you do this shooting? When did you shoot this guy? The guy in the white car.
I want to have some island in case I get fucked. At least
Well,
I'm gonna have.
Wait,
I wanna
you
have
can,
some
okay.
way.
Well,
If
I'm
I
giving,
get fucked over,
okay,
I
listen.
want to have some.
I'm letting you save
Have
all
a
the
little
things. Okay,
trial.
but listen, I'm letting you save all the stuff about the friends. And it's not a biggie. We already know what day it happened, of course, because we were out there. But we just want you to say it, okay? So it's not like
If
the,
I say it, then I.
nothing. It's no big deal. It just helps you with what we're trying to establish that you're there.
I don't mind if you. That's the thing. I've cleaned my.
It's not gonna.
I don't mind.
How's it
I'll
going?
establish
Okay, can I
like
say
that.
something? Can I say something? How's it going to hurt your friends? We already know what day it happened. I'm just trying to get you to tell us.
Because the day
I know, but you.
I was with my.
I know, but
if I say that and you go to the thing, hey, what's his name? Who was he with?
Okay, but can I say something? Could I not go now? I know what day the shooting happened. I was out there, standing in there, investigating. Okay, I know what day it was. I could go do that right now, but I told you I'm not going to do that. I'm just asking you to tell me the day. I mean, obviously I know because I was standing out there with the white car. Okay, so that's not. I'm just getting you.
For some reason I did get fucked over. I'm just saying. Like I said, here's the main thing. Once I plead guilty down here, right? Say if you have enough right now, and you have enough right now to charge, totally right now. You probably do have enough right now to charge me, but if you had enough right now to get it basically guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, you basically got everything, an admittance and everything on me, right?
What are you worried about that compared to up here for?
Because up here I'm guilty. I mean, I've basically admitted I'm pleading guilty.
But what are you worried about that for then?
That's not the thing. I'm not worried about that. What I'm saying is that down there, when I'm up here, I'm pleading guilty. And then if I go down there and then you plead guilty, and then while I'm down here, I'm getting sentenced on this trial, if that one's already been pled guilty and whatnot, then I got 3 when I'm getting sentenced on that trial. I'm not worried about the sentence I'll get down there.
Okay, then.
He's a piece of shit. I know
well, then
that.
if you're not worried about that, then why aren't we just
because I don't want him, or I don't already want a guilty charge on him down there when I go for sentencing up here.
These charges are already made. That's not made.
But then when you go to sentencing, they're gonna say, oh well, he's did this and that on the other people. Think about it. It's totally reasonable. It's totally reasonable. I go, and instead of not just these 2, there's this other one. Even if he was a piece of shit, well, he's done this before, right? And so the sentencing would be a lot harsher.
Well, these 2...
I'm probably going to get the biggest... I mean, with all the media attention and everything, I'm probably fucked. But
the 2 up here are more severe from down there. So
right, but I don't want to go with 3 on my record.
But you're saying with this up here, you don't want to go down there and mess with that. You just want to get all this over with, right?
Yeah, and then I'll mess with it.
Okay, well then let's just make sure we don't do it anymore on that. That we're not dragging you back and putting you to interview you again.
Y'all can't bring me back right now because I've still got this down here.
Okay, you don't want to go back there, obviously, right? You want to stay here, you said, right?
No, I'll go back there. I'd like to go back there eventually, but...
All right, well, I'm not asking for your friends or anything,
this county.
but listen to me, okay?
I like to go to a different county, period.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't like the basketball courts in Pinellas County? Up high, at least on the roof? They're pretty nice. But anyways, listen to me, okay? I'm just asking.
Could they work it out where I go to Pasco County?
I don't know. You like Pasco?
Yeah, I know a lot of people in Pasco.
Do you?
They're pretty nice.
I've been up there a few times. It's pretty nice. But I'm just saying this. Listen, obviously, I know what day it happened because I was standing out there, okay?
I don't know what day it happened.
We've extended the courtesy of not asking you more about your friends. Okay, but listen.
I didn't even have to
okay,
say
I know, but listen.
Anything. I mean, even
okay, but if we
did you even suspect me?
Listen.
We talked about you.
Yes.
Just because of the whole.
Shit.
Yes.
I mean, just because of the whole. Yours was right after this, and you lived there. But you're not like our prime suspect or anything.
But
exactly.
But listen.
I mean, there's like one guy that you could probably connect that was in the car that you could probably connect with me from my past being locked up. And I don't even think you know about him, period.
And Leo, we haven't asked you those names, have we? Have myself or Laura Harris one time said, what is his name? Have we? No. Okay, we've given you that courtesy. All I'm asking is one last thing, which is no biggie because we both were standing out there after leaving our houses. I'm just asking you the day.
I told you, I basically gave you the reason why I fled.
Well, I know you said...
I disappeared for 4 days right afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
But you said...
Right afterwards, I disappeared for 4 days. That's the whole reason I was in Ocala, in a tent, off the side of the road, minding my own business when I fucked up again.
Because of this shooting. You were hiding some
That's why you left Clearwater.
Yeah. And you said it happened...
Because no one knew why. I didn't call my parents. I was basically waiting to see if they were going to, blame me for it.
And it happened after Christmas.
Right. And then when I was in the hotel, I called Rosie to see if they were at, basically to see if, and I called a few other people.
Now I missed part of this. Who's Rosie?
That's my sister.
Okay.
I called and basically, I didn't tell them where I was. This was after the lookout, but I basically called that night before any of this, before they even found it. I was in still Saturday. But basically called, and you can ask, and I was like, where was I? I said, I'm in Alabama. You can ask her. I said,
Okay.
so I was basically seeing if they were going to say detectives were here looking.
What, that was Saturday? What, you said Saturday?
No, I called her like Thursday night.
You came up here on Monday,
And I called her Thursday night.
which would have been January 2nd, right?
That was January 2nd?
No. Monday when he left was January 2nd.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. But you called after you got up here, the Thursday after you were here, you called.
I basically gave you, I mean, it's after Christmas and before I left.
Okay,
And
well,
the reason why I left.
Christmas is on a Sunday, right? You left town the following Monday. That gives me an 8-day time span. I mean,
But
why?
when I left, would I wait 8 days to leave?
Okay, but why are you so opposed to telling us the
Where
day?
I was with. Because
Who's gonna know?
Okay, but can I say something, Leo? It's not a big deal. We're just having you say it because, like, we obviously know what day it happened, okay? But you're saying you did it, and that way we know for sure you're not bullshitting us. We know what day it happened. But listen, I know, but listen, Leo. I know, but I'm trying to say, think of the logic. You're worried about your friends and all that. We know what day it happened because we were standing out there. We having to do all the work for it, okay? So we're just asking you to tell us. It's no mystery when you tell us. You're not opening up the great gates, okay?
I know you know what day it happened, but I know that the specific person I'm hanging out with that day.
But we already would know that if we wanted to. We're just asking you to tell us the day.
The people you were with that day, the people you were with the day that this happened, they're not people that you normally hang out with, or they are?
One of them is, but...
Is that one of the black guys or one of the white guy?
And no, the white guy, not a total friend of mine.
Okay.
He's just a person you go to, but one of the black guys.
Is somebody that you hang out with on a regular basis?
I've known him for a long time.
Okay.
But I did not hang out with totally regular around my friends.
But what would be
The thing is, listen to me, the thing is, now the friend that day that happens doesn't know I was there. Like I said, I told my sister I was in Alabama. And I said that someone was after me to shoot me. If you call my sister right now and you talk to her.
Okay, you lost me here. The friend you were with, what? Doesn't know. What'd you just say? Say that again.
The friend that I was with
That day.
doesn't know I was even in Clearwater. He supposed I wasn't even in Clearwater. Because he called up and said, hey, there's shooting and whatnot.
So your friend, you said the friend you were with.
No, the friend that I was with, and their acquaintances for another friend. He's the one who told the white guy that I'd probably be down for something like that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So...
The black guy that you're
Right.
friends with told the white guy that you'd probably do something like that.
Right.
Okay.
So the thing is, he could tell him that, yeah, I'd probably do something like that, but he wouldn't know, if I had actually done it. He could just refer me and see.
You know
if he
now.
knew.
Down
He
there.
doesn't know if I did it though, because I fed him the story that I wasn't even there.
Oh, I understand
Remember?
that. But what's...
I'm check the phone company list.
Well, I know, I understand that, but I'm saying, how does that go with you just saying what day you did it? I mean, we know what day you did it. That doesn't change anything with him. That's out of the picture. We're just, asking for those couple things. We laid off the rest about friends' names and all that, just to know for sure that you're telling us the truth. I mean, we know what day it happened. We're just asking you. It has nothing else to do with your friends. Okay, we're laying off the friends. It's simple.
But I still got something right there to kind of like...
You don't have nothing. We know what day.
We know what happened.
Exactly, but I have something to like say, well, hey, if like for some reason y'all really do, we didn't care about this case and then y'all fuck me later, I have something to say.
Well, you already said before Christmas, before you left on Monday, you pretty much already narrowed it down. We're just... do you want us to have to go find your friends and interview them instead of something...
find him. Well,
but other than something you can just tell us in a second with a day to confirm, we know what day. Like I said, we were standing out there.
You want me to narrow it down a little more?
Narrow it down a little
that'll
more.
work.
All right. Monday I left.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Start from Thursday and work up.
Okay.
That's all. That's as close as I'm going to get. I basically narrowed it down to 4 days. I eliminated 4 days.
So you're saying Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It's one of those days.
Right. And Sunday or Monday, a lot of stuff happened. So that's the night that I left.
Okay. So can I assume that it probably wasn't on Monday because you were kind of busy?
Right. So I'm eliminating all your days. But I want something that kind of protects me.
How's that going to protect you?
Because I don't want to get charged right now with that when I'm still facing these two.
Well, can I tell you something? I don't have enough to charge you right now. I mean, even if you tell me that you did it, I'm still not going to charge you because I've still got to go back and I've got to verify everything that you've told me.
Exactly. And I don't want to go and get sentenced before and have this charge. I want to wait until I'm done with this charge, these sentences, and get my sentence in, and then.
But what I'm saying is, we understand that. But you sit here and you said what happened, that you took the gun, you pulled the trigger, you shot at him, but now you're worried about telling us the exact day. I mean, that doesn't. We're not trying to mess with you. It's no big riddle.
I can understand why you want to hold back who you were with. I mean, that makes sense to me, why you want to hold back who you were with. And it even makes sense to me why you want to hold back a little bit about the car.
Thursday. It's a weekend.
So now I'm Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Obviously, when you're getting drunk and it's on, it's not exactly when you're hanging out with your friends. Okay.
But you understand what we're saying? We're not throwing any puzzle at you. We're not pulling any trick. I mean, we know, but you've already.
I kind of feel like you guys are, because then you went out there and then you came in, like the question and whatnot.
She went out there to use the restroom, and I said, I'm going back to talk to you. Just like you had to use the restroom earlier. Nature calls, and on the way up, we had some sodas.
And I had a really big one because we stopped at McDonald's. I didn't get the $1 small one off the dollar value menu like him.
Do you think there's been anything that we tried to trick you with? When you said stop, other than when we were joking around the car?
Besides the gun. That was a trick.
What was the trick?
If I gave you, because you wanted the gun off the street.
The reason I want the gun off the street, because later on, that's not a trick. What I told you was that gun, if somebody gets stopped with it, because all guns get tested, that gun's going to come back to be involved in a homicide, and that person's going to get charged.
But I said I had the gun and gave it up.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, that's not a trick. That's the truth. It's called ballistics, okay? The bullet is left behind. Do you know anything about firearms? Every gun is different.
I know about rifles, I'm not.
Okay, handguns are the same. Okay, that gun is in a system. Whenever that gun ever gets stopped, seized, or taken from somebody for any reason, and it gets tested, because all guns get tested, the police take, that gun will come up as a homicide weapon. That's not a trick. That's not a joke. Okay, I don't want you to think. That is the truth. So that guy, whoever it is, we're trying to protect him. Because you're admitting to it, that gun, if he gets stopped, that gun will come back as a gun that was used in a homicide. And that's deep shit for that person. That's not a trick. Okay? I can explain it if you don't understand it, but every gun, you can tell, matches up to rounds that are fired.
I kind of understand.
All right, so that's not a trick. That's not a trick. That's the truth.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, if you have a friend that you didn't want to ever get in trouble, okay?
It's not that I don't want to get in trouble. I just don't want to point him out.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that's what I was telling you. It was not a trick. I have not tricked you one time, okay? But that gun will come back to being involved in a homicide, which he'll have to deal with.
I don't get why the gun would be caught.
Okay. Say he takes the gun out again and he gets pulled on a traffic stop and the gun gets seized.
He's stupid. And that's his own fault.
But you're asking why.
But he knows for a fact that I didn't point the gun.
Say he carries the gun one day and he gets arrested for shoplifting, he has the gun on him. The gun gets taken.
But he knows I didn't point the finger at him.
Okay, but I'm just telling you, were saying I tricked you. And I wasn't. I'm just explaining that it wasn't a trick. I'm explaining the reasons, okay?
It kind of seemed like it.
Okay, but I'm just trying to explain to you why, so you know it's not a trick. We have not tricked you one time. We're not tricking you about the date, okay? I know you're down the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, think about it. Obviously, we know what day, because I told you.
I know you know.
We were there.
Out there, okay?
For many hours, we were there.
Okay. Obviously, you talk about protecting your friends. Well, you've told us everything. It's kind of funny when you think about it. You've told us everything about how it happened, how you got out, how you pointed the gun, how you pulled the trigger, how you shot him, how you took off, how you left, the type of gun and everything else, but then you don't want to say the day of week, even though we know already. If we wanted to go talk to your friends now, we go talk to them versus you. I mean, it's no trick involved. It's just that you want to make sure that no one else got the blame. So we're trying to ask facts that you would only know about the day. Just like earlier we asked you about the time. You were honest and told us about the time of day, okay? Now we're just asking you the day of week.
So I gave you the time of day, so what's the big deal?
Well, I know that, but that's what you think we trick you because we're asking you day of week. It's not a big deal, okay? I don't want you to think that you're being tricked, okay? That's all.
Right afterward, sleep. I mean, not that day, but the next, and then I flee.
So it happened on Sunday is what you're saying.
I'm not saying
Well, you're saying right after you fled. You fled on Monday, so right before would be Sunday.
it was late. Not that much.
Late at night.
Don't know exactly what time, but
And it was a day you were off work.
I wasn't. Well, I don't work nights, but I was off.
You were off that whole day. No.
Excuse me.
Thanks. Huh?
Is that the people? I mean, I can point. I know that the guy pretty much. No,
That's, yeah. You think you would be able to pick out the person that you shot?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I narrowed it down to Curly right here, but I know for a fact it wasn't anybody on the bottom row.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I mean, can you pick them out on the top row? So it's somebody on the top row? Are you sure? Or
I'm sure.
okay, well, which one was it?
Thank you. I'm pretty sure it was something. I'm not 100% sure.
Like, how sure are you, percentage-wise?
The hairstyle, like, that's how sure.
Okay. I mean,
There's,
you said you're not 100. Are you 95% sure, 90% sure?
95. I mean, he's got curly hair too, but.
Okay. Go ahead. Just sign your name above him, if you will. That way it's not me saying that you picked him out.
I only saw him from distance near the trash can.
Okay.
He never got out of the car, but I know it. The
Do
hairstyle.
you want something to drink?
Yeah, I mean, you
Some
went,
water would be nice.
I'll get you some.
what? Still
I
95?
didn't see the goatee.
Okay.
I'm not saying I saw facial hair. I mean, he could have had, but
Okay. I'm still confused, and I missed part of your story with him, but I'm still confused why you don't want to give us the day, because the people that you normally hang out with, you weren't hanging out with them that day, is that
no,
it?
but they knew I was hanging out with
So the people that you normally hang out with knew that you were hanging
a
out.
person, right? You know what I mean? Hopefully, I don't think you could track them out because they didn't. Like they interviewed like half my friends and whatnot, and as far as I know, they didn't interview.
Which of your friends did they talk to? Do you know?
That just narrows down which friends not.
Well, I don't know who all your friends are.
I know they talked to Ricky, and I know they talked to.
Is that
Brian
Richard
there.
Watts?
Ricky, yeah.
That he goes by Ricky?
How do you know him?
Huh?
How do you know him by
Because
name?
I'm a
so well?
detective.
So you guys really did check me out. So I was a suspect? I mean,
No,
was I
because-
suspect before
No,
this?
you were never a suspect until I got a phone call today. How long have we've been here? 3 hours, right?
We have?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here 3 hours. We haven't been here 3 hours,
was like-
but I've been here 3 hours. I mean, I talked to the other detectives, so that's your friend.
Yeah.
And then they already talked to him.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. What other friends of theirs did they already talk to? So I can just get it from them and I don't need to talk to them. Who else do you know that they talked to?
I believe they talked to like my sister and my brother.
And that's Rosie?
Brianna. Yeah.
Rosie is your sister?
Rosie.
What's your
Victor.
brother's name?
Victor. And
And who's the other girl you mentioned?
Brianna.
Brianna? Okay, so Rosie's your sister, Victor's your brother, Ricky's your best friend. And who's Brianna? Is that a girlfriend or
No, just a friend.
somebody you work with or go to school
No,
with?
just a friend.
Okay.
Near the neighborhood friend.
Who else did they talk to? Do you know?
No, no.
So did they talk to the person who can tell us who? Give me that. Did they talk to the person? They didn't talk to that person.
Exactly, and they did. I'm pretty sure they searched pretty hard to find all my friends, you know.
And they never talked to that person.
And there's several friends that they didn't like harass. So I mean, so that's why I don't want to, because then you can say, all right, there's a friend out there, and then you find that friend. And
Is that Steve?
Steve Schick?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Is that the friend I need to talk to?
I got a couple friends named Steve, but I'm not.
Okay.
I got lots of. Got 3 friends named Steve. Nope.
That's don't. I mean, I don't want to waste my time trying.
That's
to,
right. That's a friend, but I mean, that's not the one you need to.
That's not the one I need to talk to. Is Joe the one I need to talk to?
No.
Huh? Joe's not the one? Look at me. Look at me.
No.
You sure Joe's not the one I need to talk to?
I said I don't want to give the friend, and now y'all are trying to get the friend.
So is Joe the one I need to talk to?
I know. I'm trying to be like, cooperative.
I understand that.
So I don't want to just say flat out no, go away. You know what I mean? But
I understand.
I don't want to.
But I mean, we've obviously got a lot of work to do in this case. Okay, now.
I don't see why. I mean, just.
Because
it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm fucked.
Yeah, but you're fucked up here. You're not fucked down there in Pinellas yet.
Yeah, but I'm fucked no matter what. You can't fuck me anymore. Am I lying?
I mean, you got a long road ahead of you up here.
But you know.
But I mean, we're trying to get to the bottom of our case.
I mean, as soon as I gotta try to get in touch with the PD, and, and if I can get in touch with my public pretender, then I'll be able to
Is that what you call him?
That's right. Yeah. So then I'll be able to say, just plead me guilty when they do the arraignment, and then in 2 weeks they plead me guilty, and then they'll go to the sentence phase right away. I mean, I'm not gonna do the long drawn out trial, because if I did, it'd be like a year before I even went to trial, and then it'd be like a year of trial. I'm not about to go through all that.
Okay.
There you go. You want any snacks or anything? I use the bathroom over there.
Can you give me some snacks?
Nah, you're on your own.
But so that's why I'm saying. I mean, there's no reason for me to
I mean, we just, and I've told you
There's
this
no
over
reason
and
for me to
over and
claim
over
for it.
again.
I mean, there's no way I can know this. I mean,
But I mean, you have. I mean, I don't know what you told him. What did you guys talk about when I wasn't here? I mean, did you tell him something like earth shattering that's gonna? Okay. I mean, it's my case, and I need to have that little something that's going to put it over the edge, so that I know that I'm confident that you're the one that did it.
I told him about the open area with the sign on the ground, and he thought it could be a park, and he suggested a park, and I said I'm not gonna go out there, because he was suggesting a school, and I said it's not near a school.
Okay.
Right. But I told him, like when you go through, and you see those like signs that want you to slow down, because they're
like the yellow signs.
Not the school signs, like children at play signs, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there was one, because I remember kind of going really fast, and I was like, there goes that.
That was afterwards, after you guys were leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So.
And was there any, and you touched on this before, was there any words between you and the guy you shot? I mean, did he say anything to you?
Between me. I didn't say anything.
Okay, but the guys that were in your car, they were yelling.
I know they were saying stuff.
Do you remember what they were saying? I mean, any specific words that you heard, or?
No, I don't remember. I mean, I remember saying, like certain things like, hurry up, let's get the fuck out of here and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But that was afterwards,
Right. But before, you don't remember any words between?
I remember in front of the car, it was like, but it wasn't loud out. It was like, dude.
Okay, to you. Mm-hmm. But were there any words between either you or the people in your car and the guy in the white car? There was no...
Not between me and him.
Okay. Did he say anything that you know of? Did he say anything to them, or did he scream like, oh my God, or oh shit, or...
He might have said like, when you got shot or whatnot, oh my God, and, trying to flee. I mean, it was kind of like pretty... Wow, it's hard to take in. That shit happened fast.
So it wasn't, I mean...
It wasn't like we were standing out there and looking around and like, oh, wow.
So it wasn't something...
it
wasn't like something he was expecting. It wasn't like you were like up in his car arguing or anything. So it was completely...
He wasn't expecting to get shot.
Did you see how he was sitting in the car? You know how like some people sit like way back and low? I mean, was he like that, or... You know what I mean?
Well, he was. I don't think he was like driving all the way up, because I didn't see him. I mean, so he's probably driving back because I didn't. Because like I said, I was looking hard, and so I just aimed up like where I would think a driver would be, and I fired. And I'm not a pistol person.
Right.
Only rifles because of hunting and stuff when I was a kid, and so.
And then after you shot him, you got back in your car. Did you guys?
It's not my car.
Got back in the car. Did you guys go the same direction he went, or you went a completely different direction?
Turn it off.
Okay. Did you see where his car crashed then, or I mean, how do you know that he crashed?
I don't know that he crashed. Like I said, I heard a skirt and a lot of loud noise, so it sounded like he crashed. And when I looked back, I saw taillights, like he had stomped on taillights. So that's what made me think I had hit him.
Okay. I mean, did you hear? You know how it sounds when a car hits something. I mean, you hear like that boom. Did you hear that noise?
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying I didn't know if I hit him or whatnot. So
Did you see anything in the newspaper or on the news or anything about this?
Like I said, I immediately went to
Ocala.
Right, and I was in the woods, so they don't exactly deliver.
They're not delivering papers out there to you?
When I finally came out was Thursday night. I stayed at Rivers Inn. Thursday night, I don't think they had it on Ocala National News or something like that. I mean, obviously I was watching. I was watching the news Thursday night. I was watching.
Now Thursday's after what you did up here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the same day, or no? It was something like that. But no, it would be Wednesday night, but it would be Thursday morning, like at 2:00. It was the early morning, and all they had on was about the mining tragedy.
Right.
Because I was watching to see if they knew anything, and they didn't know anything until Wednesday. So it was after. And since then, the only time I've been out of my cell was yesterday. Then you can ask Sergeant Chapman. He said he can come out for 30 minutes to read the newspaper here. So you can check to Sunstar or something, the Ocala, Maryland County newspaper. It's the only thing I've had since then. I don't ask my lawyers and stuff. I ask them, so what are they saying? If you check my phone.
When did you...
Because I don't even know what they're saying about me on the news totally.
When did you get arrested? Because you got picked up down in Pinellas County, right? These guys came down to Pinellas? Just this Monday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I went to school and then I got arrested. And I got back, and then Friday I went to get my check, and so Saturday and Sunday I spent with Victor, See, Saturday we went around and, because a friend just bought a thing, but I never really went home because I was kind of like, didn't want to go in, house. So I basically stayed out with my friends driving around. I mean, whoever wasn't going home. And went home. So I basically went home kind of Sunday night and stayed the night. So if they had something on Sunday night, and went home Sunday night.
And then you got arrested on Monday.
Yeah, because I went to school Monday morning, came home. I guess they already had me under surveillance or something.
Okay. You just said, and I mean this is going to help me out tremendously. You just said you left town right after it happened. Did this happen on Sunday? I mean, just tell me. Which would have been New Year's Day. You said you left town on Monday, and you said it happened just before. Sunday was New Year's Day. Did it happen on New Year's Day?
I had to explain why we were getting drunk.
That would explain when you were celebrating New Year's Day. Leo, did it happen on Sunday? Just make this easy on me. Did it happen on Sunday? Yes? Okay, it happened on Sunday. All right. Before this happened, you were staying with Victor? I mean, who are you staying with on? Because you were staying on Clearwater Road, right? Before my thing happened. Right.
Because, Victor, that night, Victor got mad at me because I basically went out. They were going to a party. I was supposed to go with them to the party. This is why I knew they'd know everything.
This is the day that mine happened.
I was supposed to go with them. I was supposed to go with them to a party, and I didn't go.
Okay.
That's what I meant. And I made up the excuse that I wanted to ride a motorcycle. I was buying a motorcycle, but it was a street bike, and it was the most fastest bike they had out right then and there. And my Victor was saying, I taught you how to ride, and I just taught you 3 days ago. And if you take this bike out, your death's on me. And you know what I mean? And I'm not going to be responsible for it. So if you're going to take the bike out, then I'm not going to fuck with you anymore. And I took the bike out. So he moved out and everything, and I didn't go to the party that night. So that's why I was going to say, well, then they can definitely point the finger at me because I disappeared that night. And if you check, they walked off, they packed up and left because I made the excuse that that's why I wanted to leave. You know?
Okay. And that was,
Yeah, because I didn't know really how to ride that bike on the streets, but I made it look kind of like I was.
okay. And that was Sunday.
If that's New Year's.
New Year's Day was
Or
Sunday.
New Year's Eve. I mean, one of those, that's New Year's.
New Year's
The day they had the party.
New Year's Day was Sunday. New Year's Eve would have been Saturday. But you're saying
Because
that
Laura rented a hotel for everybody at her work, and they all had a party there. And I was supposed to go, and I didn't go.
you went out with your friends and went up and did my case on Sunday. Okay. Now, before my case, though, you were living there on Clearwater Largo Road, correct, with Victor? And who else?
Just
Just you and Victor?
See, but that's the whole thing. Are you going to bring Victor and them into this?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to have to go talk to Victor. These guys have already talked to him, right? I mean, just to verify dates and stuff like that.
But Victor, if you ask him, that was the night we got in a big argument because I left and
Okay.
I didn't go with them. And I took the bike out to get to where I had to go and whatnot.
And that was the same night that you went out then later and did my shooting. Okay.
And then I hadn't seen him until I got back.
From Ocala.
Right.
Okay.
Because he basically moved out, and then he found out that I had just disappeared. So.
Well, you guys were renting the trailer or owned it?
Yeah, we were renting the trailer. I was paying half and half, but he was the one who went because I was working when he went, so my name didn't get on the lease. And they said, well, it's my brother, so they didn't really care if I put my name on the lease or not.
So how long had you been living there with Victor before? I mean, has it been a couple months?
Month. The rent was about to be due, so maybe a month.
Okay. And before that, where were you?
I was staying up in Dunedin, but I wasn't really staying there. That's where my stuff was with Joey and my cousin. But I was basically, at Brianna's and whatnot.
Okay. And she's not a girlfriend, you said?
No, she's not a girlfriend. She has a boyfriend. Her boyfriend, Matt, is a good friend of mine.
Okay. All right. And then
I stayed with Cynthia. And that was not really a girlfriend, but kind of like her friend.
Okay. So you've been staying there in the trailer with Victor for about a month. And then before that, you were up in Dunedin with Brianna?
No.
No.
Brianna's right across the street.
Okay, Brianna's in the trailer park.
Right. She's not in the trailer park, but she lives across the street from Sunoco off Clearwater Largo Road.
Mm-hmm.
Right. She's really right down the block. I was staying there every once in a while at Bunny's house. I mean, you're a cop and. Well, you're not in Largo, but if you're a cop in Largo, you're going to know Bunny's house, all right?
Bunny? Okay.
All right. Everybody's going to know that house.
Never heard Bunny,
right.
But I'll check.
Everybody will know the house in Largo where all the kids, because first of all the kids are demented little fuckers that are always getting charged, and Bunny won't let anybody go in there. And in the backyard, they always get drunk, and it's privacy fence and whatnot.
You mean won't let anybody go in there as far as cops?
Right.
Okay.
Like, if you have a problem, you go to Bunny and you hide in there and you just... She won't let you go in.
Okay.
She's not here. Get the fuck off my property. And it's kind of funny because, it's sad, but it's funny at the same time because, she's older and she's always drunk. And she's she'll be going to take the kids to school with the beer in her hand and whatnot. So it's kind of scary, but it's the most dysfunctional family you'll ever meet. This family, this could go on national TV if they made a show. The Osbournes got nothing on them.
Got nothing on Bunny.
No.
Okay.
And they have to sleep because the keys are missing because of Brent, so they have to sleep with the car inside the park with the car behind it, so they can't get up because their own son. And they sleep with everything in their pockets, their money, and both dad and mom smoke weed, so they sleep with that in their pockets and everything. And he still manages to steal it and stuff. They buy a brand new camcorder. It's at the pawn shop.
But they let him keep staying there.
Right, and the boyfriend, Brianna's boyfriend, and he's just fucking around, but they're always fighting. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you, bitch, I'm coming in there. And then they go in there and they're like, oh, I love you. And
So Brianna lives at Bunny's.
Right, they have their own little room.
Okay. You're gonna make me do all this work.
No, I'm not. It's very simple. I wasn't there. You can check. No one knew where I was that night. All they knew was I took off on the bike and everybody got out. I was supposed to go to the party though.
Okay. And you met up with your friends up at Hooters, right?
Well, we went there, but I didn't meet up with them.
Where'd you meet up? Will you tell me where you met up with them? How'd you get there?
That would be his house, or where I parked the bike.
Okay. But the motorcycle's back now. I mean, you brought it back to Victor.
Yeah, well, after I crashed, of course, but I brought it back, and they, it was because the reason why it crashed was off. It was really not my fault. The back brake broke, and it fell down on the side. Scratched up the whole thing on the side.
Okay.
And then they took it and put it in.
Okay.
But they repaired everything in this pack with Luke. It belongs to Luke.
Luke or Luke?
Luke Merrifield. Lucas Merrifield, the kid who also owned the AK.
Okay. Okay. I think the only thing you missed is Leo said, finally admitted that it was on Sunday. Our shooting was on Sunday. And we can verify that with Victor because they had a fight that night.
And I was supposed
He was supposed to go to a party. And we did this, you saw the photo pack, right?
You know anything about any other cases in Clearwater?
I mean, I know cases.
How about one where somebody was beat in the face?
I know a lot of cases. I even know the case over on Betty Lane where I don't know if the cops came that night, but I know, Donnie and Kyle, probably, since y'all in that area, not behind Bowling Alley, but you go back there near Betty Lane, behind the Albertsons, that area.
Yeah, over by Missouri.
Like, I was there the night when, 5 or 6 people got out, beat the shit out of this one kid that lives on the corner near Brittany's house. I was at Brittany's house when it happened. They beat the crap out of this kid. They had a gun, and I know he went and the dad came out to try to stop him. The dog going, the dog bit everybody, even the dad. And then he put the gun in his face, and it clicked, and I guess it didn't fire, and they hauled off. I mean, I was there for that. I know a lot of cases, but I can't talk about them because those really weren't involved with me.
How about one?
Snitching.
I know.
Okay.
But how about
I understand.
the one I wanted to ask about? I understand that. It was one. This guy somebody would have beat him in the face in an apartment complex. Do you remember in Clearwater where there used to be an old little golf course that's now being construction?
Where St. Cecilia's school is, behind there, there
was a guy early one morning that was beat in the face.
Right where the old golf course used to be, right near my friend Ricky's house.
Yeah.
Near San Remo and whatnot.
Yeah. Do you know who did that one?
I mean, I could find out. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, it wasn't me, I can tell you that much.
Okay. But have you heard anything about that?
Why did he die? You guys are homicides.
He died.
Yeah, he died.
So
But that's the type of stuff that can help you if you know who did stuff like that. I'm not saying you did it, but
I was involved in a lot of stuff. I mean, I knew a lot of people because, I mean, I'm not proud of it, but from 12 to 19, I was locked up. So I know everybody who does something dirty. And
Where were you locked up?
Manatee, and I was locked up in Pasco. I was locked up in.
You ever seen that guy?
No.
You don't know him?
No. Was he beaten in the face? I mean, he looks like a guy that hangs around Billards.
Okay.
You know where Billards is, right?
The one on
there?
Turner Street by McDonald's?
Mm-hmm. Right across from McDonald's, and McDonald's is all night. He
This
just looked like a guy.
This took place in that area. Do you know anybody that beat somebody in the face?
I can name some people that would probably do it, but no.
I mean, you didn't know anything specific.
I don't know specific. I can't say I know for a fact who did that. I mean, I didn't even hear about it but I know he looks like someone that hangs out in Billards.
Anything else in Clearwater that you know?
I could have saw him in Billards. I used to go there a lot, so.
Okay. All right. So just for clarification, you want to take care of your charges here, correct?
I just want it to be understood that I'm going to plead guilty on these 2 charges here.
Okay.
So this way, that charge doesn't even need to go up against it because I'm being guilty. It's not like we're going to a trial and saying, well, look, he did this, so what's to say he didn't do that? I just want to make clear that I'm pleading guilty.
Okay.
Which, and I want to kind of fire my plug pretender. Yeah.
I like that. So after your case here is taken care of, I mean, you mentioned earlier you're going to talk to us more about this one, or?
I mean, yeah, I'd be willing to. I mean, later on.
Okay. I mean, you want to get down to Pinellas, because if you just plead here, you know, you're going to go off to prison, and you don't want to go to prison, correct?
Well, I'm going to go to prison either way.
Right, but I mean, you want to stay
Right.
in
I want
jail.
a chance to, you know, be able to see, because my brother can't make it down. He's been down here once. My brother can't make it down here all the time. But the thing is, if I go to Pinellas County, I don't want to have to go through the whole SP thing again. I've already been through that.
Well, you know,
That's
something with hair that I don't think you'd have to worry about.
right. Well, just clarify, because I know when they come in so they put you on close ops automatically, and I don't want to be put on that
We
because these
can't.
people here are rednecks, and I don't like them.
Well, you know, we're not quite that
We
bad.
can't quote the exact procedure at the jail.
Yeah, I mean, I
obviously,
can't.
So, I mean, I'm not going to tell you anything like that, but we're just trying to
I mean, I don't mind going down there and facing it. I just want to make sure that they'll be separate, if that can happen.
Is there anything else you can tell us about the one that you haven't down in Clearwater?
The one that I mean, there's other things I could tell you, about the night and kind of about the reason.
Well, tell us about it.
Tell us.
But the reason is because, I don't want to right there and there, but I know he crossed somebody and he owed, and he didn't,
Well, tell us what you can. I mean, let us know. I mean, don't leave the name out.
From what I understand, he was strung out pretty bad.
That night?
Right. He
Okay.
was strung out pretty bad, and he was just on a bench or something. He, first he'd pay for stuff right now, and then he just went out and started getting stuff that he couldn't pay for.
Okay. What was he getting? I mean, was he getting powder? Was he getting rock? Or was he getting pills? Or
I don't know exactly what it is, but I know what the guy dealt in, and he dealt in powder and pills. So it's either cocaine or pills, some type of pill.
Okay. And the main guy that he was dealing with was this white guy?
That
Right.
would be the guy that would probably be selling, yeah.
What he would have been buying from. Okay.
And what would you say you could tell a little more of the discussion on how they come to that we're going to kill this guy?
He didn't pay. And
You know how much he owed?
didn't know all that. Just knew. From what I understand, he didn't pay. I mean, they didn't tell me. I'm pretty sure they didn't tell me everything. But it sounded like it was more than that. Like he crossed him or something. He did something or tried him some way. It wasn't like, well, he just paid, didn't pay and whatnot, or like he crossed him or something.
Did you know anything about this guy's background? I mean, like what he did, what his occupation was, or who his family was, or you didn't know anything?
No.
You just seen him that one time before, you said? When he came up to Hooters, when you saw him at Hooters, did you see him in his car?
Yeah, he was giving something to someone that, was there.
And you said it was back, kind of in the back by where the dumpsters are?
Yeah, he just drove by, it was just me and him, like I said, when we were in the car at Hooters. And they're like, hey, hey, we got this, and this motherfucker trying to come on. He was basically calling all his boys and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
And then we were picking people up.
how about this discussion that led to you being the one that's going to do the shooting?
They just,
How did it come about? I mean,
most people know kind of my background and whatnot, and they know that I'm down for whatever. And I do some.
had you shot anyone before that one? No?
I've done stuff to people, but I've never actually killed anybody.
Beat him
I didn't
up?
even know I killed him.
You beat other people up?
No. But I never actually killed anybody. I
And
didn't even know if I shot him. I didn't even know if he was dead or not. I just said there was a person in the car. He was shot, possibly. I know he looked. It sounded like and whatnot. Looked like he wrecked afterwards. So I think I hit him. No, is he dead? I don't know. So, just when Pinellas County they said homicide was coming, so I said okay, so he is dead.
Yeah.
Did you tell anyone about this afterwards?
Like I said, I skipped town. I was gone. I cashed my check, my school check. I get independent living program. I cashed it as soon as I got it. Cashed it that day right away. I went all the way up to Oldsmar to get, because it's still being sent to that address. Ran up there as quick as I could, cashed the check, had him pick up the bike, and went straight to the ground. I was in Greyhound Station for like 4 hours, just waiting, because they didn't have any leaving until 7. I went there. As soon as I got to Walmart, I bought the stuff and whatnot. You know, I bought the book. And the reason why I took the AK along wasn't going out there, but the reason why I took the AK along, because supposedly this kid might have had connections, you know what I mean? So I wasn't gonna, you know, just...
Right.
And it was in my house. I was watching it. So that's the reason why I brought the AK. I brought the AK out there, and basically I had the AK, so if case, you know, like when I called my sister, I was like, so they were saying, what's wrong? And everybody's looking for you. And I was like, why are they looking for me? Why are they looking for me? And I was like, well, I can't tell you, because there might be some people that, you know, and that I'm in Alabama.
But now that was after you did the one up here when you talked to your sister,
Right, that
right?
was after that, but that was like before it was even found out. That was the night, so that
Okay,
happened.
the night it happened.
So
Nobody knew about it yet.
Right.
But those 3 shootings are the only 3 you've done? The 2 up here?
Only, you know,
Right.
people that...
But I'm saying, the 2 here that you shot, and then the 1 back in Clearwater. And you haven't shot anyone else. Okay. I mean, when you led up to this, you beat people up before, but you hadn't shot anyone before.
I mean, I've shot at people, but I don't know if I hit. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a pistol person. You give me a rifle, I can do a lot of things with the rifle. You know, because
You've shot at people before?
With the rifle?
No. Before.
Yeah, I've shot at people, but I've never, you know.
Never hit anybody?
Right. Just like shoot their windows out or something like that. You know. Me, I got a lot of arson charges, and just like shit like that. To like, if people needed something done, all right, well, I'll get it for you. I'll burn the house down if they don't want to give it to you and stuff like that.
But you didn't use that AK down in Clearwater?
No, I didn't use it on anything else in Clearwater. I mean, I shot it off in Clearwater to clean when I cleaned it and make sure it would work before I got it and everything. But
was that right before you left to come up here?
No.
Oh.
Why was there a shooting with the AK? In Clearwater?
No, I'm just asking you. No,
don't try to
No, we're not sticking anything else on you.
No.
Like the one guy, I didn't do anything with that guy that got beat in the face. I mean,
okay, well, I was just asking if you knew.
I mean, he does look familiar, like he would be in Billards. I mean, that's the only thing I'm saying, because, you know, I used to go to Billards a lot. So that's the only thing it looked like.
So, from what you know, there were phone calls were there any phone calls between the guy that you shot and the guys that you were in the car with? There were phone calls between them?
Yeah, I would think that was the person. Like I said, I didn't know the person, but I just know they were like, you must this and that, and then there was more calls than that. There was calls picking people up and whatnot. So
the people that you were picking up, were you picking them up? What area of town were you picking them up in? Do you know?
No, I didn't really know these people we were picking up. We were going to places I hadn't.
Okay, and they were all black guys, the people that you picked up.
I had one part of the time that we did pick someone up, I noticed was in Fort Harrison. It was near the reason why I noticed because it was near Charles' house. Are you familiar with who Charles is?
Which
gay crack dealer. It's got a little shack in Fort Harrison down near Myrtle, off of North Myrtle.
A black guy?
You gotta know this guy. I mean, he's
gay? He's a dealer?
Yeah. And
don't know.
I don't know. Gay Charles the dealer.
I never really get how you guys don't know what a crack house is. I mean, it's like the movie style crack house. It looks like something you'd see in a movie. I mean, it's the smallest little, it's like the size of this room. It's
but news alert, there's more than one crack house in Clearwater.
No, I know, but it's like so obvious. I mean, they're there all night and people can't. It's not like they try to hide it. I'm like,
wow.
I mean,
I call him Gay Charles, but he's Charles, but he's gay. And he's
a black guy.
Right.
And the house is near Myrtle and Fort Harrison?
Mm-hmm.
You pick somebody up near there?
Yeah.
You know what color the house is?
I just know when we left the area where we picked it up and we were going down, I said, wait a minute, that's Charles' house. Yeah. So I know it was in that area somewhere.
Okay. So you didn't stop at Charles's house, you just tipped out with Charles before?
Right. We went by Charles.
The other problem we have is, these crack dealers aren't like overly cooperative with the police. So when we go knock on their door, they don't always give us their identification right off the bat. So that's why.
Sure.
You may know him as Gay Charles, and we may know him by another name.
Well, I know he got out of prison, so you guys know him, but maybe not that he's a crack dealer and a crackhead at the same time.
Okay.
Great combination.
It's a bad mix.
I mean, how can you catch a crackhead that is a crack dealer? I mean, he's a crackhead, so he's not.
There's a lot of those where they get it and they cut the rocks in half, smoke half, and sell the other half. That's not uncommon. You've seen that before, haven't you?
I don't know. I just know, personally, I know if someone's on crack, I can tell he's on crack because he ain't right.
Yeah.
That night you said you were only drinking beer?
No, EJ.
EJ.
Perkins.
And you were smoking weed?
Well, yeah. That was, when I was out, that was kind of always. Because
Okay.
I'm ADHD, and that was like, no one can normally tell when I'm high because I'm not like a normal person.
It's better than taking Ritalin.
I was self-medicated.
You got anything else?
No, I just didn't talk to you for a second.
Okay. All right. If you need anything, you want more water or anything? You good? Okay.
I'm going to leave you my number. Do you want a business card, or you just want a piece of paper so it doesn't look like you're taking a business card back?
I don't care about business card.
You don't? That's fine. I'll go to the car and get that in a minute. So, any questions you have for me?
No, yeah, what's probably going to go on with this?
We're going to go down and we'll add what you said to the investigation, and we'll look at everything.
Yeah.
But that's it right now.
So, as far as my case, though, it's not going to influence this case down here.
The one up here?
Yeah.
No, it has nothing to do. They're separate. So, no, I think that was it. The only thing left, I don't know if it's just when you got out and you shot the guy, it was his car. You said was moving. Was it stopped, or what was it doing? The guy you
When I
shot.
shot, then it took off.
It took off.
It was taking off when I shot.
Okay, but as you getting ready to pull the trigger, was it stopped and then it accelerated when he saw the gun?
No.
It was already taken off?
I don't know if he had saw the gun or not. I mean, I would think so. I didn't see him.
But as you got out of the car, was it stopped at that time? Or was it already stopped?
Yeah, it had stopped.
Okay, it was
When
stopped.
Came up.
So as you got out of the car, he started moving?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did he say anything at all? Or?
Well, fuck. Oh my God.
Was he yelling or?
They were in the car they were yelling, but remember I wasn't in the car.
What the victim yell?
He could have yelled, "Oh my God," or something like that.
And then did you watch the car go by you? Okay. No problem. I'll give you our cards. And then anything, if you want to get a hold of us, you know how to get a hold of us, okay?
Why would I want to really get a hold of you guys?
You may want to tell us more. You may want to help your situation.
I mean, later on, yeah. I mean, but later more. I don't want to be in this county when I'm telling you and whatnot.
Why is that?
I don't like this county.
I don't know, but what's that have to do with telling us? We're not from this county.
Exactly. So I'd rather get this done with them, because I don't want them, because these guys, when you tell people stuff and they find out every time you get a new charge and whatnot, they'll throw you back in SP or some shit like that.
No.
Their operations here suck. Their procedure.
I understand that. But down there, it's separate. But down there, I mean, of course, we have more investigation to do. We've done some investigation. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the parts you don't want to help on, we have to do on our own. The part about, the other people and all that. So. Joey?
What?
How long you and Joey been friends?
Not long. No. But, I don't, but now we're getting into there, I don't want to get
Well, I know, but yeah, I understand. You're trying to protect Joey.
Well, not that. I just don't want him, I don't want no vendettas against me. No. And I don't want to be on PC or anything like that.
Do you think Joey still has the gun, or you think he got rid of it?
I don't think he's stupid.
You don't think he's stupid? Well, what do you think Joey will say when we talk to him?
You don't know me. And I don't know him.
You don't think Joey will throw you under the bus? He'll just say he doesn't know who the hell you are? Is the car his top possession? Is that his favorite thing, his car?
I think it's his car. It
No.
could be. I don't know. I don't know whose car it is.
Okay. Has he ever, when you've shot at the other things before, have you guys got rid of weapons a certain way?
I'm not saying it's all been connected with those.
Oh, no, okay. But, so you don't, you think Joey's a smart person?
If I shot at something, if I was to hit somebody, I'd get rid of the weapon, but...
You don't know what he's done, but you think Joey's smart about that. Did you know Joey in school, or? No, you just met him on the street?
I remember I grew up in Clearwater and whatnot.
Well,
I know a lot of people. Anybody who lives in Clearwater, I mean, I know a lot of people because Clearwater's always been...
But I'm just trying to ask how close you and Joey are.
Not that close.
Who's Joe? I missed this part.
The guy with the gun, his friend with the gun. It's Joey.
Oh, okay. Joey was in the car?
Yeah, Joey's the little white guy that had the
Okay.
gun. But he's saying Joey's just gonna, don't know him.
Say he doesn't know you.
Joey,
I don't know. He might say he knows me, but he said, I don't want y'all saying connecting us if you know who he is. And
has Joey been in a lot of trouble before?
I think so.
Is he your age?
He could be younger or older. I don't know.
Well, how old are you? You're what, 19?
Mm-hmm.
But he only deals, you said he only deals powder or crack and pills?
I don't want to see.
Well, I mean, you said cocaine earlier. I'm just wondering.
Now we're trying to get into friends.
No, don't worry. You said crack. You said cocaine and
I
pills.
don't know if he does crack. I don't know.
I was just wondering if that, powder.
I don't know.
I mean, you got a different type of person that's dealing crack or powder. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I've never seen crack with him. Like I said, I'm not with them all the time. I don't know him that much.
Okay. And you know him through the black guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you don't think that's Joey's car? He just drives it.
It could be his car. I don't
know. I mean, I still tell you, I want to get a gun off the street. I like to get any guns off the street. You know that. I mean, would that not be? I think you would expect that from us, right?
Right. There's just a lot of guns you gotta shoot. You can't.
Well, I know that.
Yeah, but you got to start somewhere. So you can get one off the street.
So. We'll end up talking to Joey. I know you're not going to help us by telling where he lives. Anything else about Joey you're willing to tell us?
He's got a mouth.
Huh?
He's got a mouth.
So he's short, your age or younger, and
Well,
he's got
he's not
a mouth.
short.
He's little.
Does he have a
like
street
that.
name?
He's more chunky than me.
Okay.
Does he have a street name? No.
Maybe he could. I mean, I don't know.
You know what his last name is? Just know him as Joey.
I've said too much just saying Joey.
All right. Well, I'm just asking. Do you blame me for asking?
No.
Oh.
It's your job. You get paid to do that.
The other guys that were in the car, the black guys that were in the car, if I give you some names, if I run names by you, will you tell me whether you know those names or not?
I could. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Do you know Billy Jackson?
That sounds like some type of person that was like in the civil rights. I mean, I've heard that name before, but not.
No, it's a black.
Billy Jackson.
It's a black guy that
No.
lives in Clearwater. Billy, you don't know the name?
No, I don't know the name. But it sounds like, Billy Jackson's will sound like some.
No.
Oh, he's one of our local.
He's a real guy. He's one of our local people
Right.
that are involved. What about Quentin Ford?
I do know a Quentin. I mean, Ford.
You know Quentin Ford?
I know a Ford.
What's he look
He's
like?
dark. I mean, you could call him color purple. He's
Like tall or short or?
He's taller than me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is the same person. I know a Ford and I know a Quentin. So that could be his first name. I just know him by last name because
Was he involved
I
in
might
any
have
of
been
this?
locked up with, Ford.
Was he involved in this?
I don't.
I mean, was he in the car?
I don't want to get. See, I said I wasn't gonna say names or anything, but.
Well, you didn't say a name. I said a name.
Yeah, but I don't want to even be looked at or subpoenaed to court for a witness or anything. Because you do your job, you have to report what I say, and you can't. Once it goes from there, you have no control over it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't
Okay.
want to.
So me throwing these names out to you, you're not going to tell me yay or nay, right?
I could tell you if I know them. But.
Well, I mean, whether you know them, it's not going to tell me whether
Right.
they were in the car with you or not. I
You
mean,
don't-
like you said, you know a lot of people.
You really just you don't want to get all this behind you and over with, so we don't have to
It
go
is
into you again.
behind me.
Well, I know, but I mean, some of these people. I mean, I can understand protecting Joey. That's your friend, but you can't tell me all these guys you're tight with.
Ford. He's
You know.
got a distinguishing laugh, though. You're always playing. You're always saying, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. He can't say anything without you know what I'm saying.
All them guys.
This guy, Ford.
Ford.
Yeah, it's like nothing he says. If you talk to him, you'll know if Ford. You'll know it's Ford. You'll be like, you know what I'm saying, and then you know what I'm saying. Everything he starts at, you know what I'm saying.
What about Terrell Bush? You don't know that name?
I didn't know all the names before.
Okay. And I don't guess you'd look at pictures of them, would you? And point them out?
Not pointing anyway. Not pointing the finger.
Gotta ask.
Well, they're not the ones that did the shooting.
Right, but I'm
You're the
not
one that
pointing.
did it. Was somebody else going to do the shooting before you
I
stepped
could see
up?
if I'll see if the Ford's the same person you're talking about. Because we could have different Fords.
It's out in your car.
No matter what you do, you want.
Whatever. I don't care.
You know where it's at.
Yeah, I know where it is.
In my case in the file, there's some business cards in the black folder inside.
Okay.
Quentin's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's been locked up before. Correct?
Yeah, he just got out.
I know he did. Because I was locked up with him.
You were locked up.
I believe so. If this is the same person we're talking about. But
She's going to get a picture.
I don't know if it was Ford.
We just. I know we've said it. We're
Curious how you know these names, though. I am curious.
Well, let me put it this way, and you may think.
But you never got my name, correct?
Let me put it this way. Well, let me put it this way. Okay. All the people that were in that car, who's not living down there right now?
I didn't know Ford was living down there. I'm surprised.
Yeah. But let's just follow this scenario. All the people that were in the car, who's not down there anymore? Who's going to be the scapegoat for everything?
Me.
Yeah. Word on the street, people talking. Who are they?
You think they'd blame me?
Huh?
But they don't know me. I mean,
They don't know you.
Some of them do, but the ones that know me know I know them.
I know that, but
Well, they might know me now,
I'm
'cause
trying to explain
so-
this to you so you know. If it don't matter, 3 guys, 4 guys that do something, okay? This is just nature.
Someone's gonna say something.
I've been in law enforcement for 18 years. And just the way it is one guy can be a scapegoat, and they've got to put a word out on the street. Because the guy that you shot was well loved in that community, okay? He was a very, very popular guy. I don't know if you knew that, okay? Very popular guy.
That's not good.
Very well liked. The community's in an uproar, okay? So all those people have to save face. So people start pointing the fingers. So their human nature is to protect themselves, okay? They ain't gonna give a shit about you. I can tell you right now that I'd bet you anything that when those people get asked something, they're gonna say, well, him. And their story is gonna be, we didn't know, I'll tell you, let me put close to how the story's gonna go. We were in the car with him. He was a crazy motherfucker. He got out with the gun. We didn't know he had a gun, and he shot the guy. That's probably pretty close to how the story's gonna go. Because that's how it always goes when they can sell somebody down the river. But we're gonna talk to who we can talk to. But word on the street is going like wildfire, okay?
Yeah.
Because this guy was somebody the community liked, okay? Certain group of people, you know? The neighborhood, the hood liked him. So the word's out there. So, I mean, of course they're gonna save themselves. And nothing happens up there without somebody saying, okay? They know.
It's a pretty populated place. You can't-
Yeah. So, whereas you don't want to give a name, they're not going to care about you because they're going to protect themselves, okay? But we probably will have to talk to you again after we talk to all them because of the stuff that you want to leave out. We're going to have to come back to you,
Before I left it out, what makes you think I'll say I still left it out for a reason?
Because you're not a dumb person. You're a smart person. And you're not. What do you have to lose if we come up and we tell you, oh, so-and-so said that? Yeah, he was in the back seat. What do you have to lose? They're not the ones facing the serious charges you are. They're not the ones that have to help themselves out of anything, okay? Because when you sit in front of that judge and they say, was he cooperative, not cooperative, was he forthcoming with information, was he not forthcoming, they don't have to answer to any of that. You do. They don't, okay? That's why, we wouldn't be doing our job if we don't come back and ask you this stuff again. And then we have to say, we had to go back a second time and pull it out of him because he was protecting these people that were with him, these witnesses that were in the area. We're here now. I mean, I tell you right now, I'm not going to lie. I'd love to get it over with. But, I can't tell you, you got to do what you want to do. I don't understand why you're protecting them. I wouldn't, but. But I think you screwed up and you know it. I don't think you're a bad person. It's what's happened. I don't think tomorrow you do the same thing again. But, at a certain point you have to become a man and you're doing it partially and just, hey, this is what I did. I want to give, like you said to them, I just want to clean the slate. Here's what I did. I'm a man. I'll man up to it. But
so that's what, you said.
Now you sound like quitting. No. Go ahead.
No, I said
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But some of what you're saying, though, does sound exactly like him. Because, like I said, he just got out. He got out before me, though.
Yeah. But
he's been out.
You understand what I'm saying? You're the one that has to make the decisions for yourself. They're not going to... Let me ask you this in your heart. Do you think any of them will try to help you? No. But you got to help yourself with... You're the one that has to face the judge. And like I told you about the being cooperative, not being cooperative, forthcoming, or had to be pulled out. I think you've been, cooperative with most. You've held back those names, but you're the ones that have to answer that later. And later on, we do have to come talk to you. You'd expect that once these people start talking. And they are going to... Do you think they won't throw you under the bus? They're going to make it seem worse. In fact, they're probably going to blame you for stuff that they've done that now that know that they can just blame it on you. Especially say that gun was used in other stuff. They'll probably just say, it was him because they're going to be able to get the rap off.
Really? I mean, you can just blame me and everything, but it's not totally hurt me.
Right, you gotta. It's like I told you, you gotta have something.
But still,
right.
You screwed up. It's time to move on. But you're being a man.
The best thing I can negotiate is a comfortable cell for myself. It's like the only thing, because I'm never going to see the daylight again.
And I told you, you're smart, and you're right.
And I know a comfortable cell damn sure ain't going to be up here where they don't even have for canteen. They don't even have snacks.
Well, that sucks.
Oh, really?
They have shirts and coffee.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
So you get caught with the radio down here. You get thrown in the box. I mean, you get caught with the radio up there. You're allowed to have one.
Yeah, I don't
Is there any way you at least give us the names of some people in the back to help us?
It's Quentin Ford in there.
Yeah.
They got hair now and stuff, but it's gotta be the youngest guy. He was in the car, I can tell you that much. No, he was. I don't know him though.
He was in the car?
Yeah. This looks like a coop.
Like who?
Coop?
Did you say coop or poo?
Coop.
Oh, coop.
And how long have you hung around with Coop?
Not long. This one looks like some certain people like. I mean, just because you know him, but
And Coop's one that they picked up after you two left, or when you were just driving around?
Mm-hmm. He wasn't in the car when we first got in.
Okay.
It's not the same Ford we were thinking of, so can't be. I mean, it could be, but
This guy down here is who we know is Quentin Ford. Is that not the guy you're talking about?
no.
Okay.
Unless you can check and see that he was locked up with me, because he looks way different now. Of course, he was never allowed to have facial hair or anything. He just looks more light skinned.
Well, you guys
He's dark. I mean, like darker than him.
Well, he's really, really tall.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I know
really
that.
tall.
Yeah, I know he's tall.
Like,
didn't
really
I say
tall.
he was taller than me? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's tall.
I know that.
Were you guys in the same pod together?
Yeah, but that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh.
Was that in Pinellas or where?
Pinellas.
Pinellas?
But, and I know he did juvie time. Am I correct? If he has a juvie record.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Yeah, he just got out of. He didn't just get out of he just got out of juvie. Not maybe a year ago.
Yeah,
a year ago. He got out of
I don't know
juvie.
how old Quentin is.
He just got out.
I know he's. Well, I know he's young because I know he did juvie. I think I did time with the Ford, but he looks different now.
Do you know where this guy Coop lives? No.
I don't, but I know he was in the car
Quentin's 21.
because he had 19. So like I said, 2 or 3 years ago.
Quentin?
Yeah.
Looks more familiar, but I mean.
You know when he was what, bald?
Yeah, bald, no, before he can even grow facial hair. No. I mean, he could have grown
Well, he's
facial hair.
21.
See if he was locked up around,
Okay, but
when I was, so.
he
When
was
he was like
involved in
19.
this or was not?
I didn't see him.
Okay, I mean, I'm not going to waste time tracking down Quentin Ford
Okay,
to see
Quentin
if he was
wasn't in the
locked
car.
up.
I didn't see him in
Quentin
the
was,
car.
okay,
Okay.
I saw
Alright.
him in the car.
okay,
And-
that's, but you're saying the first guy
Yeah.
definitely was in the car. And the third guy? The 3 of them. Okay. Now that, just so not to confuse you, these aren't all people that we're looking at for this. That was just a photo pack made with
Right,
Quentin
no,
Ford.
I'm just pointing people I've seen before. He was in the car though.
Okay, he was definitely in the car. Okay,
Oh, these two weren't. These are just people you know.
people
Right.
you've seen
Okay.
before. Okay.
I'm gonna write that name on here.
Um,
On the back.
yeah. Nobody?
You alright?
No, I was getting my hand up.
Oh.
No, his hands I don't see.
No, I didn't know if something was cutting you or.
He could be, I mean, because one guy had a thing over his head, like a do-rag. So, I mean, he could be, but.
Would it help you if I showed you a color picture?
Because he could be. I mean, he's got the same eyes, like, and same trim. I mean, put a do-rag on him that looks like him.
You never met him before?
No, I didn't know him.
There's another.
From what I know, he don't know me.
But he was in the car too.
That was like an agreement. Anybody I didn't know in the car, I didn't know. I don't know.
That's another picture of him.
See, in that one, he looks kind of different. I mean, that's gotta be
Well,
that.
this I think is an older picture.
Right. That one, he looks
This was
different.
taken almost a year ago.
See, when I saw him, he had the little thing on his, like that, and he had a do-rag on.
Okay.
And he was in white Reebok t-shirt.
How many total were in the back? 3?
And then you two up front.
I could name a lot of them that look like D'Angelo, but no. You know who D'Angelo Green is?
I've heard the name. He's not in here.
I know.
He was one of the
Is
3.
he one of the 3?
He could have been.
Hey, we appreciate it.
I
okay?
do.
I mean, I just kinda-
Seriously, we.
I'm giving you
I know. Hey, but listen, we appreciate it. Okay. I don't want the bullshit. We thank you. Okay. Obviously, thank you. Okay. I told you you're not a bad person. okay? And that's shown because you're willing. Every few moments, you know what's right and wrong, and you're showing us, you know. But
I mean,
I don't want you to think that we don't think bad. We're just trying to.
I mean, you obviously messed up,
Right.
but you know, now you're trying to do the right thing. I mean, especially, you know, with these guys here from Marion County.
Right.
I mean, you know, help them out a lot. And
Like
you're not I mean, you're a good kid. You've had a rough life growing up, and you know, you made your mistakes, and you know, all you can do now is try to, you know, do the best for yourself you can.
Is there any way I can go back to my county though?
We can try. We can talk. So I can't. It'd be bad of us to promise you anything, okay?
Well, I know that.
And that's in the hands of the state attorney. But we can talk to him. But I mean, it helps because you've told us Joey's the driver. D'Angelo Green in the back. The other guy you're saying, you know, is Coop. You think he was
His
back then.
name is Coop, man, because like
That's what it is.
I
Like,
don't know if that's his real name.
It's street name, I know.
Right.
Well, come on, I'm not that stupid. Do you know what the other guy's nickname or name was? The third guy? You don't know or you don't want to tell us? You don't want to tell us.
you don't want to
Look at
tell
that
us.
smile.
You're not a
I
good.
don't know.
You're not a good liar.
You're not a good fibber.
I don't know his name. It's just that one I don't want to cross. No.
That's the one in the do-rag?
Hmm?
That's the one in the do-rag, or
the
that's
one
the-
I'd go. Well, yeah, but his name. I mean, he's like Coop though.
Okay.
Coop is like his nickname.
So, the
and like
three
I
in the-
said, he looked like him.
The three in the back you're saying.
What I'm saying is, get a picture of him with the do-rag on his head.
But that's
that's-
not Coop.
that's-
That's the other guy, right? You on the one picture you said it was the first guy.
Coop. Right.
This guy you said was Coop, right?
Right.
Okay, and then I showed
Then
you.
you showed me the other guy that had the weird looking eye.
Then I showed you this guy,
And
and you said he had a do-rag on.
right. That's the one. I
Okay,
don't.
and that's the one you don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's 100% him. But you put a do-rag on him. You know what I mean?
What is his street
And
name?
he does a wave.
Can you at least give us his street name?
I don't know if it's street.
You know, look
I
at
don't
you.
know his street name.
Had you ever met him before?
No.
Who was the guy that you picked up? Which was the one that you picked up over by Gay Charles's house? This one?
And like I said, we used this there. You know, he was already standing away.
And what was the third
Kind of
guy's
car.
name?
D'Angelo Green.
Do you know where you picked him up at?
I mean, I don't know if his name was Green D'Angelo. It was like D or something like
His
that.
name was D'Angelo
No,
Green.
it
Come on, you know you're not a good liar. Huh?
wasn't D'Angelo.
Do me this favor, okay? Don't send us on wild goose chases, okay? I mean, we got enough to do. If his name was D'Angelo Green, you let it slip, okay? If his name's not D'Angelo Green, then just tell us so we don't go on wild goose chases trying to hunt down D'Angelo Green. That's all I'm asking you to do.
This is what I'll say about D'Angelo Green.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying he's in the car, but the guy with the do-rag on his head,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be the connection. If you could find D'Angelo Green and you show him the picture and whatnot, he's gonna know. I know he'll know because that's where I've seen him with. That's why I gave D'Angelo Green, because I figured, you know, you give him and you'll get the guy with the do-rag. And I didn't say it was D'Angelo Green. I said it.
So D'Angelo Green was not in the car?
The other third guy I did not see in your little pictures.
Okay.
No, you're not sitting on a goose chase. The other guy was named Joey, your friend.
Joey?
The white guy was Joey. That's
No,
his real
it's
name?
not yeah, that's his real name.
Okay. Is there anything you could tell us just to help us without where to look for him or where he hangs out? Does he work at
He's done
Hooters?
deals at Turner Golf. I mean,
Does he work at Hooters?
no.
Is that car the one he drives most of the time?
I don't know. I don't know who owns the car.
Oh, I know that.
Have you ever seen Joey in that car before?
Once.
And he was in that car when he picked you up.
And then after you did the shooting, when you left, you switched, you pushed him over, and you took over driving.
Anything else we need to clarify?
No, we were talking earlier. He was saying that when he got out with the gun, the car was stopped. And as he got out with the gun, then he started moving. And then he shot him, and then it accelerated down the park. down the street.
Oh, okay.
We were talking, that was the only thing we were talking beforehand.
Okay.
Correct? Is there anything else you can help us with? Anything to save us time trying to find these people?
I gotta have some too. Come on, alright.
We gave you a glass of water. What more do you want?
Well, you know, the thing, all we told you we can offer is that you're being cooperative with us. You know, that you're.
Is there any way you can get me back to Pinellas County?
I told you we had to talk to the state on that. I would be lying if I told you we had
Tell
no
the
power.
state I'll plead guilty to this. Just let me go back to Pinellas
Well,
County.
I understand that, but I can't.
Come on,
But
they
they
wouldn't.
got-
They wouldn't
Okay.
send me for
But
that.
I
But
understand.
they got, I mean, they're gonna, because the state wants you up here, obviously.
Right, but that happened first, right?
Yeah. But,
All we can do is ask.
I will certainly ask. Once we go back and do some more follow-up on this case, I will ask. Okay, I can't make you any promises that, yeah, they'll transport you to Pinellas County. I will tell you, Marion's gonna probably fight to try to keep you up here. Because obviously they think their case is more important than ours.
No, I'm not saying their case is at one point. I'm saying they win their case if I plead guilty.
Right.
So what's the point of still standing
Right.
down here?
Right.
I mean, well,
On that case.
all I can do is say that I will ask the state attorney if we can get you back to Pinellas.
Ask the state attorney if he pleads guilty down here. Alright? And if I plead guilty down here to the crimes I have and whatnot, I'm obviously going to be in jail a little bit until they send me off to prison. And if I have to do my jail time, just let me do it in Pinellas County. This way, before I go to whatever prison I do, which you know is going to be far away from Victor, he's the only person that can visit me. He can visit me for a little bit before he can't visit me anymore.
All we can do is ask, because
All I can say
it'd
is
be
we'll
wrong of us to tell you something that's not in our control. And we haven't lied to you yet, and we're not going to, okay? I think you can respect that. So, I mean, all we can do is ask. That's up to the state. But what I'm asking is, we appreciate everything, but if there's any more you can give us to help us. Where's Joey usually store the gun?
I don't know. It's the first time I saw him with the gun.
Okay.
I mean, Joey, does he live in Clearwater? Does he live in Largo? I mean, where do we need to start to try to find him?
See who hangs around Turner. When I first met him, it was Turner Dog.
How would you get a hold of him if you were down there and you wanted to get a hold of Joey?
You get a hold of him, right?
What was your cell phone number?
813
813
84.
And who was that through?
Sprint.
Sprint. Was it in your name?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, and how long did you have that phone right up till you came up here?
Pretty much. I mean, it broke before I came up here. And
Did you have it that night? The night of ours? Was your phone still working then?
I believe so.
Were there any phone calls between your phone and the victim? No?
How about between you and Joey and all that?
Not with my phone. Like I said, my phone was broke.
It was broken that night.
Yeah, no, it's been broke for like a week before then. It's like the battery or something. You can get it to work every once in a while, but you'd have to plug it in and you'd have to wiggle it around and it would work for like 5 minutes because something was wrong with the battery. I had to get a new battery.
Do you know what Joey's cell phone number is? No.
Do you know any of the phone numbers of these guys? Okay.
Well, I might be, they have my wallet and property. I might have greens from them.
Okay. But you're saying he wasn't there?
No, he wasn't there, but he'll never got to do that.
Well, we're asking, if you wanted to get a hold of Joey, how would you get a hold of him if you were down
Like
there?
I said, I didn't really know him like that. I knew the other person that kind of same. You know what I mean? Joey was like a person, if I need to get something, I'd be like, hey, does your boy got something? It's not like that was my connection.
Okay, but you said one of the black guys in the car was somebody that you were in juvenile with. Okay, well, which one? That's not one of the names you've given us.
See, I don't want to give because that would be like someone that was like.
Okay. So he's the third person that was in the car, third black guy that was in the car that you don't want to. So that's how you would get in touch with Joey, was through him.
How long ago were you in JDC with him?
I don't want to say how long ago it was, but I've only been out for 4 months, so I wasn't in JDC. I haven't been in JDC in actually in a while. Been in so many programs though.
I was in a program.
Yeah, so.
The last one you were in.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I was in the last one for a while though. But
You won't tell us the name of it.
the name of where I was.
It's a program.
Well, that's easy to find out.
Just to ask.
I mean, I've been in programs like Omega, Sable Palm Academy. I've been in a lot of JDCs all over. Palm Beach and up. And I've been into the Sancho Boys Village.
Well, I'll tell you what, think about what we talked about today, what I told you earlier about that they're not going to help you at all. And you've got very few options to try to help yourself by being cooperative and everything. If you want to call us, call us. If you want to give us more about the people that were with you and how to find them. You've pretty much given us most, but there's some that you're holding back, but if you want to help us, you can call. Okay? We're not going to sit here and keep forcing it. You don't want to give it, okay? We'd appreciate it, but
I'll stay here all night if you're willing to talk to us and give us information. But
you may be in a rush to get back over there, so.
To your certs and your coffee.
I don't even waste my money.
So you even have McDonald's. We took care of you.
Yeah, they did give me McDonald's.
Sure you don't want to tell us any more about the people with you? Or Joey?
You guys got a lot. I think you have a lot more than you had. You probably had leads and everything, but...
You think the Mexican car will...
That's just the way I classify
That's the way you describe it?
Flashy cars and all that started with, Mexicans and whatnot. That's why I call them Mexican cars. It's wasting a lot of money on cars that normally are pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather buy a real good car, Because you spend the same amount of money.
Exactly.
A car that's going to break down in a couple months. Or
those wheels cost quite a bit of money.
I know.
Yeah, and you have to keep replacing those. All right. Nothing else you can think of you want to tell us? No? Okay. Here's our cards. Okay? Keep a hold of those. All right? And if you want to talk to us, we'll be happy to come back up if you've got more information or anything else you want to tell us. Okay? All right. Take care, Leo.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, somebody's going to do it with me.
Okay.
Leo Boatman has basically been incarcerated since the age of 12. He was born in a mental institution, put up for adoption as an infant, and abused throughout his childhood from relatives to foster parents. There is no excuse for what he has done, but one has to feel for anyone that has a childhood like he did. In 2010, Boatman received an additional 7-year sentence for the attempted murder of an inmate in Dixie County, Florida, and another 15-year sentence for a third-degree murder in Charlotte County in 2013. The kid just wanted to kill. Leo's final victim, well, they say it's his fourth and final so far, but after watching this interrogation and a bit of assumption, I believe there were more. He murdered his cellmate, William Chapman, on July 5th, 2019. His accomplice, William Wells, was given the death sentence. A few months later, Leo Boatman received the same penalty. I am currently working on getting some of the interviews from these cases. Leo Boatman is currently on death row and serving out his time at Union Correctional Institution in Rayford, Florida. Thank you so much for watching. Much more is coming, so we will see you in the next one.